Good morning, everyone. How's everyone's doing today? If you guys can get seated, people's outside, get your coffee, grab the seat, and we're gonna have some fun today. So my name is Marco Cheng. I will be one of your master of ceremony today, and
I'm Denise Mai, and I guess I'll be the madame of ceremonies today.
so this is to give some bio for everyone that if you don't know us.
Yes.
So
Wait,
Denise,
why don't we just wait a few more moments because we have a few more people just trickling in. And I love that everyone else is present in their seats already. So yeah, we're about to get started for real.
Yeah, and I know it's a busy day for everyone, and thanks for everyone can come on a Friday. Market is picking up, but thanks for having us to be spending time with us on the next 4.5 hours with us in here today.
How's everyone doing today?
Are you guys excited? I can't hear you guys. All right. I guess you guys need a shot. Okay. All right. Go to the bar, get a shot, and come back. Just kidding.
There's no alcohol at this event.
You're gonna get caffeine and get high. Or you should get high already because you're so excited to come to our event for it. You're gonna hear like amazing speaker that you're gonna learn from. And who's in here that in our Build 2023 event last November? Raise your hand. Okay, you got some of it. And if you've never been to our Vancouver Mastermind event, welcome.
Yes, welcome everyone. We really are so excited for all of you today. We have an amazing lineup of speakers, and each and every single one of these speakers are going to be bringing value to the table. So really what I suggest is be present today. Really take this time for yourself, for your business, for your family, and really take notes. So you'll notice on your seat there is, a lineup of speakers and some papers. Make sure by the time you leave this room, that whole paper is filled to the brim, okay?
Awesome. So we're just going to do some intro of ourselves. So if you don't know Denise or me, so Denise is actually from a humble beginnings to start as a self-made millionaire with a portfolio worth $10 million, 2x TEDx speaker, a top 1% President Cup agent, 4 times EXP Icon agent, and the founder of the My Real Estate Group.
Thank you. And if you don't know my co-host today, he is Marco Cheng. For those of you who don't know him, he is a social media realtor and guru. If you follow him on IG, it's Marco Cheng Vancouver, and what he does is he posts every single day, 1 video a day, rain or shine. He doesn't miss a day. And not only that, that's how one of his biggest sources of lead generation is through social media. And if you were at Build 2022, he did talk a lot about what he does. So please give a warm welcome to Marco Cheng.
Denise Mai. And I also wanted to take the opportunity to say thank you for all of our sponsors. Thank you, all the amazing sponsors sponsoring our event today. You guys can visit them in the back of the room.
Yes, Ovu Card is here. We've got an amazing photo booth. If any of you hasn't tried that 360 spin, you've got to try it because it's the latest rage. And also a huge thank you to Vancouver Masterminds for putting this event together. And for those of you who don't know who Vancouver Masterminds are, let's roll the video.
What makes a mastermind? It's less about a definition and more about an essence. It's a 5 a.m. wake-up call, starting your hustle before the sun has even risen. It's in all the meetings at midnight or dawn. It's in the effort to become better and grow. It's setting a pace that would make others breathless. It's an investment in yourself and those around you. It's the power of a team and the importance of community. It's building relationships, powerful and strong. It's the quest for bettering ourselves, finding new and innovative ways to work. It's curating an environment that's built for success. It's prioritizing people and becoming owners, not just agents. It's enjoying the ride and taking in the view. It's being bigger and better on each new day. It's not just reaching goals, it's smashing them. It's innovation, teamwork, hustle, passion, growth, gratitude, and love. It's all of that and more. It's who we are. We are the Vancouver Masterminds.
Woo! Let's give a round of applause, everyone. And for those of you who are looking for some like-minded mastermind people, let's get the Vancouver Masterminds to stand up. Where are you? Where is everybody? Come on.
Yep.
Yes, there you are. Let's give them a round of applause. Woo! And if any of you are curious about what the Vancouver Masterminds are, please reach out to any of them. They're more than happy to chat with you. And also, as you can see up here, we have weekly agent trainings. You know, right now is the most important time ever for you to be investing in yourself. Every single day, there's scripts and role play. There's different types of value that we are adding into your lives. So make sure you take a picture of this and attend our trainings every single day.
Awesome. So every one of you probably get a sheet on your chair. Just want to explain some of the stuff in here. So all our speakers, MC, and everyone that's going to speak on the stage later today, our Instagram handle will be next to our names. So if you want to speak with them afterward of the event or later on, DM them for it. And also, we do have a Slido questionnaire app. So if you can just scan this QR code later on, after every single speaker is finished, we will answer every single question. And you also can raise your hand for that as well. Yeah. So, and then we got all our sponsors in the back. So if you want to take a peek for it and know them more and read this, and then feel free to go ask them for any information in the back of the room.
Yes, and Marco has a little exercise prepared for us today.
Yeah, so I mean, if for those of you that with us with the Build 2023 event, so you probably start doing some social media posting already, right? I assume. But if not, no worries. If you guys can grab your phone out, everyone. If you have your smartphone, if you have flip phone, probably just keep in your pocket. Yeah, but grab your smartphone out, everyone. Don't be shy. Yeah, I think everyone should have like 90% of batteries right now. Or not, if you didn't charge, 1%, that's fine. You just take 10 seconds, open your camera app. I would say Instagram or TikTok, whatever that you use the most. Open it up, hold it up, everyone. Thank you. And start recording.
So basically, our challenge for each and every one of you today is to use social media to leverage this phone that you have in your hand, okay? Tag somebody that you know, tag one of the speakers, right? Let people know you're a realtor. There's so many of us walking around as secret agents out there. So make sure people know you are investing in yourself. You're here to learn, to grow, and to excel. Give me a hell yeah if you are here to grow.
Yeah. So for our next speaker, has found great success in the industry by using social media to generate leads and make sales, mainly by focusing on TikTok. He has mastered the art of creating information content, answer any question buyers or seller may have in live chat, and is being real and authentic when connecting with people on social. Despite the shifting market, it has been able to sell a number of homes through his commitment and consistency on social media, all without spending any dollar on ad spending. Please welcome SINGH.
Woo!
Social media, that's a big talk. There's TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, WeChat, so many out there. So how we as real estate salespeople can use all that to our advantage and get more leads, more business, more transactions. That's what we'll be talking about in the next 15 minutes. My name is SINGH, a residential realtor from Surrey, Langley, Fraser Valley area. And I've been doing most of my business using social media. And it's been a blessing for me. And most of my content that I put out there, it's organic content. So I have done, whatever business I have done up to until today, it's all organic without spending any kind of money or a single dollar on AdSense or anything like that. And that's exactly what I'll be sharing with you and why more of you need to do that and how you can take advantage of social media and everything like that. So let's start with the first slide I got here. So just an overview of social media use. So there's little over 8 billion people on planet Earth, okay? And out of those 8 billion, 4.76 billion are social media users. So that makes up to 59.4% population that uses social media or social platforms on daily basis. And they spend 2 hours and 31 minutes every single day on those social media platforms. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but when I look at those numbers, they make me happy. I'm excited because I see an opportunity there. Because if I'm able to, or if you are able to get a teeny tiny piece of that number right there, just imagine what that can do to your business, to the leads, to the transaction, or how it can change your life. So that's exactly, so if we now, because we're in real estate, so we'll go to the next slide and be a little more specific about the real estate. 97% of the home buyers, they start their process by going online, by searching online. For the real estate related Google searches, 253% in the last 4 years. So it's been growing more than 50% every single year. That's a loss of searches. And 89% of the new home shoppers, they start their search by using their mobile phone, which we all carry in our pockets. Here's the fun fact. Now, 86% of people, they use video, they like to watch a video to learn about the process. How to buy a home, how to sell a home, how to find a property inspector, how to find a mortgage broker, all the questions about the buying or selling a home. They want to find about the neighborhood they want to move in. What is the schools like? What's the restaurants there, coffee shops, gas stations? They want to know about the current market. What's going on in the market? Is their interest rate going up? Market slowing down? Homes are selling faster? Homes are selling slower? What's going on? How much competition is out there? So that is all the information they are looking through a video, and 86%, that's a big number, the people every day searching on the internet for that kind of stuff. And how we can take advantage of that. If we go to the next slide, now back in the days, there was only basically 3 main mediums that you can put your name out there if you really want to make it big out there, either newspaper, TV, or radio. But today, we are in the era of social media, which we haven't seen in the last 10, 12 years. Back in 2010, 2011, when Facebook was new, you would post anything on the Facebook and you will get millions of views no matter what. But then things started to change. Then recently, a new player came to market, TikTok. Now, because of TikTok, all the other platforms have to change their algorithms. They have to open up again now. So now, because of TikTok, you will see Instagram Reels, you will see Facebook Reels, you will see YouTube Shorts, and people and their content is blowing every day, left, right, and center. People are getting more followers, more views, their business is getting more exposure now, and that's all we look for as salespeople, okay? Now, can you imagine having a full-page ad in a national newspaper promoting your business for free? Or can you imagine having a TV commercial running on a TV about your business for free? Or something like that on a radio station getting read about your business for free? Well, that's exactly what the social media platforms are doing, but they are doing it for free. You don't have to spend a single dollar. If you can put some work and some commitment to it. And if, as salespeople, if you're not committed to work, what are we committed to, right? So if you can put work, if you can be consistent, if you can show up on the regular basis, there is a lot of opportunity on these platforms that you all can access. And now if you go to the next slide here, video, as we looked in the previous slide, 89% people are looking to watch a video. Why is that? Not many people like to read a book, but lots of people like to watch a movie that is based on that book. So video is more engaging. Video is more reach. So that's why video is very important. You can do the static posts, you can post pictures, they work as well, but nothing works like a video where you are facing the camera and you're talking to your ideal client, you're explaining the things, because they get to know you better before they meet you. They feel more connected. In a video, you can explain things, you can show your emotions, you can explain things, you can use your hands, your facial gestures. There is so much more connectivity with the video. So that's why video is one of the best medium to connect with your ideal clients. And it gives you attention, and attention is the new currency, we all know that. The more exposure you have, the more attention you have, the more business you will get. So that's why video again. Visibility beats ability. We have all heard that before. Now, you may be the best agent in the town. You're a good closer, you have all the skills, you have all the tools in your toolboxes. But if not enough people know about you in your marketplace, it's not going to do any good for you. So social media, video can help you become that local celebrity in your town or in your neighborhood. If you're committed, if you're showing up again and again every day for long enough, people will start to recognize you in your marketplace. Once you go to coffee shop, they'll recognize you. Hey, you're the guy from TikTok. You will go to grocery shopping. They will know you're the guy from the Facebook. You'll go to dropping your school off the kids at the school. They'll know you're the girl from YouTube. That's exactly what we need to do. We need to put our name out more and more so more people know about us and we can get more business. And social platforms, any of them, you can choose any, not TikTok, whatever you feel comfortable with, just pick one and commit to start making videos, and it can change your business, your life, and everything else around it. Now, if we go to the next slide, so let's talk about some content strategies. The first one is the KISS strategy. Keep it simple, stupid. So when you decide to make a video, you want to make sure that it's simple and easy for a third grader to understand. You do not want your content to be so complicated that people will just skip it. Because remember, nowadays, the power of thumb is so strong. If we don't like anything, we just swipe up, swipe up, swipe up, right? So you want to create something that's easy to understand, that's more relatable to everyday person, so they can keep watching you, so they can keep looking at your content more. And because remember, if a viewer has to spend or burn some extra brain calories just to understand what you're saying, they're just going to skip your content. So all the hard work you did to create that content, that video, is gone. So you want to keep it simple and short and sweet. Provide value, do not sell. Nobody likes to go shopping with salespeople. People like to go shopping with friends. People like to go shopping with other people. So try to be their friend. Provide value. Do not sell up front. Exactly. I don't do that, so that's why I'm saying that. Do not sell up front. Provide them enough value. Give them enough information about the real estate, about the transactions, how to do, what to do. Give them tips, tricks that can help them gain the confidence in the transaction they're thinking about doing in the future. And once they are ready, they will come find you. They will call you, but it might take a little bit of a time. So you got to have patience. First, you start by giving. You keep giving, have patience, and then the phone will start to ring. It might take a little longer, but it will happen. Now, the second thing is you got to engage. Engagement, they say if the content is king, the engagement is the queen. You started making videos, that's good, that's one part, but you also got to engage with the content of other people at the same time. So what you got to do every day, 15 minutes, you got to go on the social media platform of your choice, whatever you're choosing. You got to go on the content of other people. You got to leave them a comment. When I see it, I leave a comment, I'm not talking about leaving an emoji, thumbs up, or a high five. No, leave them a genuine, authentic, thoughtful comment about their video or something. Or when you go into their comments, answer somebody else's question. Somebody asked them, maybe they're busy, they didn't answer the question. You go answer that question. And now what's going to happen when next time they come back on the platform, They will see that you left a comment, or you like their video, or you like the. Now they're going to come to your profile. When they're going to come to your profile, they might follow you, they might not follow you. They're going to watch 1 or 2 videos of yours. Now what's going to happen? Algorithm is going to know that, okay, that creator came to this creator's page, they watch this video, now they're going to get served with more of their videos by the algorithm. So that's another way to grow your audience and your engagement on the social media. Recycle and reuse. Now, many people have this idea that they have to create the new content every single day. That is not true. You need, because nobody's watching your content every day or every minute of the day. You gotta have enough content for 40 to 60 days, and you can keep recycling it as long as it's relevant to the time. You don't have to keep making new videos every day. Yeah, you gotta keep adding new videos time to time, but it's not like you have to go and shoot something new every single day. That's not the case. So 40 to 60 day worth of content can last you a very long time, as long as it's relevant to the current times. If we go to the next slide, these are some of the content ideas now we got here. Problems and solutions. Now, you can make the videos about the problems because we are all in the real estate. We all know what kind of problems our clients face, or we face as agents. So you can talk about the problem, then you can talk about the solution. That's the one thing. Tips and tricks. You can talk to your potential clients and tell them about the tips and tricks, what to do, what not to do, how to be prepared to get pre-approval for a mortgage, how to prepare your house for the listing. And there's so many other things that we know, being professionals in the real estate, that we can share with them and provide knowledge and make their life easier throughout the transaction. Client stories, we all have those. We all have client stories. Maybe a bad inspection that we had, something happened at the last minute with the mortgage, or anything. We all have client stories. So just share your client stories. If you don't have your own client stories, maybe just look for some stories and just give reference and make a video on that. People love to hear stories. FAQs. Now, being real estate salespeople, we go to listing and buying appointments every single day. And we answer same questions again and again, over and over. So you can make a series of video about those FAQs. That can give you enough material for many days. So just all the buyer's presentation and the selling presentation, just copy those questions and answer them in an easy way for people to understand. So that will also give them more confidence, and that will give you an authority that you know what you're talking about, which can help you, grow your business. Next one, stitch and reaction videos. If you don't want to make your own videos sometimes, you can also just react to videos of other people who have already made. You can use some social media apps that out there. You can stitch the videos. You can put their video at the front, and then you show your reaction. That's a good way to get some engagement. We all heard about ChatGPT. That's AI. And then there's a Jasper AI. Though Jasper AI, I think that both are paid platforms, but they are very good to give you ideas, to help you write down the script, what do you want to say, how you want to say. So those are 2 AI services you can use to generate some ideas for your videos. Current matters. What's happening in the current market? What's going on? Is the interest rate going up? Houses are selling, they're not selling, whatever the current condition, monthly sales report, whatever is happening in your local neighborhood market, you can share that. But just again, keep it simple. Sometimes we make that monthly sales report and we make it way too complicated. We throw in too many numbers, too many ratios, way too many percentages. And everyday regular person, they don't want to hear all that. If somebody want to buy a house in Langley City, they're not very much interested what's going on in Abbotsford. They want to buy in Langley City. So maybe chop it down into smaller sessions and be specific about the dwelling. It's about condos, townhomes, or it's about single detached, and go with that and make it easier. Others content. Now that's the biggest thing, because many people have this idea that they want to make something new. You don't. Remember, nothing under the sun is new. You can look at the other content created by other people, just get idea and put your own thing into it and just recreate it. It happens every day, and there's nothing wrong in doing that. So that's pretty much all for today. Thank you so much, and it's been great. Thanks.
All right, what amazing content, Nav. Well, now is your opportunity to ask Nav a few questions. And for those of you who have already scanned this QR code, there's been a few questions already asked. The first question, Nav, is what kind of social media do you find the most useful?
Well, for personally me, TikTok has been, as I said, a blessing for me. But it doesn't have to be TikTok. You pick one platform that you are most comfortable with. It can be YouTube, it can be Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Pick one and stay committed to it and stay consistent to it for at least 6 months. And once you start to see some momentum, some traction on that, then you can go more widen and go into the other platforms as well. So I guess pick one, doesn't matter which one. TikTok is doing pretty good right now, but TikTok is also in kind of pickle right now. We'll talk about some other time about that. But yeah, just pick one and stick with it for at least six months.
I like that, consistency. Next question, what kind of advice can you give to brand new agents who want to start out with social media?
Whatever I just showed you right there. Just
Okay.
make videos every single day and keep going, do not stop.
Just hit record. That's it.
Record, yeah.
So simple. What's the one biggest thing you learned about social media that brought you more business?
Being authentic, being myself. That's the biggest thing. Many people try to come on the social media and try to copy somebody else or try to be somebody else. Don't do that. Just be yourself. Because people can see when you're authentic. They can tell when you're being real. They can tell when you're being yourself. So be yourself and just open up to people. People like to know about you. And be yourself, that's it.
And everyone's uniquely you. No one's you. So, all right, can you share some of your numbers? How many followers, how many sales, database?
Numbers, you can see my numbers when you scan that. You can go to any social media platforms you have. But I guess altogether on all the social media platforms, I have about 45,000 followers, combining on Instagram, TikTok, and a little bit on YouTube as well. And up to today, in the last 12 months, I would say I have done about 26 deals through social media without paying any single dollar or anything.
Woo! Give them a round of applause.
Okay.
How much do you post per day and which platform?
Again, platform can be any, it can be your choice. When I started new, I was posting 3 times a day for 7 days a week for at least 3 months. That's what I did, and that's what I recommend anybody who's thinking about starting. Because remember, when you're starting new, you need to post at least 20 to 50 videos just to prime the algorithm, just to teach the system that what kind of videos you're making and what kind of viewer should see your video. So first 20, 50 videos, they're probably gonna suck. You might not see big results, but after that, it'll start, the snowballing effect will start to happen. So yeah, start with, I would say, at least 2 to 3 videos a day and then go from there.
All right, anyone in the audience want to ask a question? Raise your hand, don't be shy. We've got one person right here. Yeah, you can yell, yeah.
So do you post your content on multiple platforms at the same time to maximize your reach? Like if you go LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok for all of the same videos? I know you have to design them for each platform or how to, but do you use a platform that pushes it all out at the same time, like Hootsuite or?
You can. There is a platform. It's called repurpose.io. You can just you link your accounts to it, and it'll push it out to all the different accounts. But personally, me, I don't do that because my main business comes from my TikTok and my videos are in Punjabi. That's my main client base. I'm based off Surrey, right? So, and my Instagram is in English, so I don't really use the same content, but that's me. But to answer your questions, yes, you can. But if you're someone who's starting new, I would say start with one platform because you don't want to overwhelm yourself by posting on all the platforms and all day. Because when you're new, it's always very overwhelming. It takes a little bit of a practice and stuff like that. So yeah, you can do that. But personally, if somebody's starting new, maybe just start with the one platform. And once you're confident enough, then start integrating all the other platforms in as well.
Any other questions? Yes. Okay, stand in the back. You're the one in the back. Yes.
All kind of the, mortgages like residential, commercial, farmland, construction, but I'm very happy, just to work. Oh, wow, thank you. I am very happy if I could, for instance, have a joint video with, passionate realtors. So any experience do you want to share about it?
Absolutely, yeah, no, collaboration is always a good idea within your niche. I mean, so collaboration is good. But I wouldn't do too much of it, to be very honest, because at the end of the day, you want to be the center point of your audience. You can bring other people along, maybe in the starting if you not feel comfortable enough or if you don't have enough of your own knowledge. But my final point will still be, you want to make it about yourself. So time to time, collaborating with other creators, very good idea, but not all the time. So you want to learn how to handle the camera, how to face the camera by yourself, and let people connect with you, because that's your business. That's what your main goal should be.
All right, let's give Nav a final round of applause. Thank you, Nav.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, so the next individual I am going to be bringing up on the stage, Martine, is an experienced mortgage broker and one of our sponsors today. She is the team with Devost, and with her background in finance and technology in her previous role, she managed a team of developers to create and improve various different platforms. This experience has given her a unique advantage when it comes to streamlining processes for her clients. Martine is also adept at communicating with business stakeholders, and a skill she has honed through her years of experience. She uses this ability to effectively collaborate with realtors to help them find the best mortgage options for their clients. With her knowledge and expertise, Martine is a valuable asset to anyone looking to navigate the complex world of mortgages. Let's give her a warm welcome, Martine.
Thank you. It's hard to speak about yourself. Not all lenders are created equal, just like not all realtors are the same. Say yes if you agree. Yes. Who wants to make more money this year? Raise your hand. Great, me too. I work with some of the most top realtors in Vancouver, including leaders in this group. And the reason why is because I make things happen. Our team has been selected by our top lenders for access to some of the most wanted products, like high net worth program, mortgage for holding companies. We do BSF plus product, which is mortgage for you guys. We have access to deposit loan products. But the number one reason why realtors choose me is the constant communication. Who wants to know what's happening with their file? Right? We all do. Well, try me, because I'll be communicating with you and your clients all the time. Every month, I send an email to my VIP realtors with some social media ideas, content that you can reuse, a schedule to live Zoom that you can add your clients to. So I will be sending you an invitation in April if you want to opt in. Enough about me. Who wants a giveaway? Well, you're realtors, you already have everything you want, but I have something for your clients. Any referrals for which we close a mortgage in April will get a $500 towards their closing cost, on top of whatever promotion or lenders already have, and free appraisal. So I'm looking forward to get your business. Thank you.
Thank you, Martine.
All right, so I'm going to introduce our next speaker. He is a very unique individual with an extremely rare name. He spent over 20 years working in Fortune 500 companies in different roles, from a customer service rep to a sales agent, and finally as a sales leader. Within these companies, he was recognized as one of the top performers in Canada and led teams across Canada and US. Within 7 years of entering real estate, he's achieved awards such as 100% Club, Sapphire Club, Medallion Club, and EXP Icon status. He met his soulmate 30 years ago and is a proud father of 3. Please join me in discussing the ideal client avatar with Mr. Ateesh Chand.
Hey guys. It feels weird to actually be introduced. You know that, right? You totally know that. Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Oh, my heel's stuck. Okay, there
Oh
we go.
no. You can stand here. I'll be totally good. So hi everybody. It's kind of weird to actually be speaking because I've been fortunate enough to be the master of ceremonies for the last 5 events, and so it's grateful to be here. Can I just get the next slide? Thank you. So I wanted to open up by saying thanks. I know that you're taking time from your families, I know you're taking time from your business, but you're here for what Denise said earlier, is you're here to grow. So I'm super excited to be able to share with you the ideal client avatar that'll actually help you to grow. So for me, what this did was I started out in real estate, did okay, I think, right? You guys will tell me if I did okay or not. I'm gonna share some numbers with you. And then my year where I implemented the ICA, it actually turned where my transactions doubled and my GCI tripled. Anybody want to double their transactions and triple their GCI? Hands up. There we go. All right, let's get going. So I'm not going to talk to you about law of attraction. If you've been living under a rock, you don't know what this is. I get that, okay? But if you're in real estate, you know this. If you're an independent business owner, if you're somebody who's actually trying to really move their life forward, you know about this. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a tool in relation to this. It's actually going to amplify what you're going to do using the law of attraction. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of background. Denise was nice enough, and I did the write-up, so of course I know exactly what she was going to say. If you guys ever get into the background, because I've been working in the background for this stuff with the group for quite a while, I've been doing sales for over 20 years. I started out in retail sales. I've sold everything from yuck tickets to oil changes to teddy bears to cell phones to high-end product to the federal government, okay? So lots of great experience. And one of the things I picked up in each of the Fortune 500s that I actually dealt with was there was always this really unique group of people, and that pause for effect, okay? This unique group of people is called the marketing group. All right? Because the reason that's very interesting for me is when I met with the marketing group, they always told me best client, best product. So they can always tell me, Ateesh, if you sold this product to this particular client, there's a 90% chance that they'll come together and you got money on the table, right? So who wants the opportunity to be able to figure out you as the best product, to be able to connect with the best client, to be able to get 90% of your deals done, like before you even show up? Who wants that? Good, there we go. All right, so this was really fun for me. I actually spent a lot of time with these people, and it made my life a heck of a lot easier. And what I mean by a heck of a lot easier, I knew these are the 4 things I had to do every single day when I got out of bed, right? Prospect, meet with clients, negotiate the deals, close the deals. Simple, 4 things that you gotta do. And it's really funny because the real estate industry was actually one of my verticals when I was in corporate sales, right? And so I thought, oh, realtors, you know, it's super easy. You guys make it look like butter, right? You're like, oh, this is so easy, it's so smooth, I make tons and tons of money, everything's great. So I figured, okay, I'm gonna become a realtor. I could do this, this is not that hard, right? No, not so simple. So when I look at where my life was, you know, with corporate sales, with marketing, and all of that work done for me, and then I went into real estate sales, I went, wow, this is different. I figured somebody was gonna pull me aside my first week, managing broker. I sat him down, like, hey, Wayne, I'm super excited. You know, we're gonna kick this thing off. It's gonna be a blast. And I said, so listen, tell me I'm used to this particular life where, I know I'm the product, but who's like my best client? Like, who's the person I need to talk to? Who would be the guy or gal that I need to be engaged with? And he was like, first-time homebuyers. Go talk to first-time homebuyers. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. First-time homebuyers. Sure, okay. Makes sense. He's my managing broker, been doing it for 30 plus years. I'm like, he's a smart guy. He probably knows what he's doing. Yeah. So then I started working with first-time homebuyers. A lot of fun, okay? But it got tedious after year 2. Do you know why? Okay, first-time homebuyers, on average, I was showing 15 homes before they wrote 1 offer. I was writing 3 to 4 offers before we actually won. Okay, you could do the math, right? I'm showing at least 60 homes before I actually get a deal. I don't know about you, but that wasn't fun for me, right? It was months on end of work, constant follow-up to kind of get through that. If I can get the next slide. So then I spent time with this guy by the name of John Sai. And John always says, you know what? If you're not happy with your results, get a coach. Not happy with your results, get a coach. I was like, okay, and he screams like that. You guys will see him later. If you've been to these events, he does scream. And so the fun thing was, end of 2020, right? I was like, all right, I'm going to get myself a coach. Let's do this. I'm going to get myself a coach. So the lovely lady that you see up here is Amy Lynn. She is my results coach. Love her to death. She is a phenomenal woman. And the gentleman next to her, of course, is Mr. Bob Proctor. She is a certified Bob Proctor coach, and she was actually instrumental in a lot of the growth that I had. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to show you a very quick video that she had all of us watch. So when we're in the coaching program and there's a bunch of her students that are in the room, she had us watch this particular video. And it was interesting because what she wanted the video to be for me wasn't what it was for me. So let's just play the video and I'll tell you guys how this looks.
This is how you attract the person you want into your life. Now you take a sheet of paper or a card and you put a circle on it. And in that circle you write my man or my woman, whichever it is you want to attract. And then you take and you put sort of a starburst on it with a bunch of lines coming up. And then you start to fill in. And here you want the kind of person you want, the qualities that you want to have. And the first thing you want that person to be free, because if they're not, you're not going to be. And as well as that, you also want the person to be happy. Who wants to be with a sad face all the time? You want to attract a kind person. You want somebody that's kind. You want somebody that's caring. Now you think of all these things, you think of, what do I want the person to be like? Well, you want them to have these qualities. Understand this, you do not put a face on the person. Oh, I know you got your eye on somebody. You have no right to mess with their mind, and that's what you would be doing. You'd be transmitting images to them. Now, you just send this to the universe. Now, I'm going to tell you what will happen before we're finished here. You got to go back and you keep thinking of the qualities. You want them to be in good health. You want somebody that's financially independent. And then, there's no hang-ups about money. You want somebody that's into personal growth. If you're into personal growth, you certainly want them to be. Now, this seems preposterous to some people, but if you understand the law, understand that we're all an expression of exactly the same power, and as power operates by law, vibration is one of the laws. Now, vibration is the primary law, attraction is the secondary. You can only attract to you what you're in harmonious vibration with. Just keep adding the qualities, everything you want this person to have. And then, mentally, you start to live with this person. Don't tell anybody you're doing it. You go for a walk with them. You talk to them. You have dinner with them. And you mentally carry on a conversation with this imaginary person. Now, what are you doing? When you're thinking of a person with all these qualities and you see that in your mind, you're putting yourself in that vibration. And you keep doing this, and you do it on a regular basis, and understand the universe is going to send to you exactly what you're in harmony with. If you're attracting what you don't want, you better take a look at you, because you're the only person you can change. You can never change another person. Now you do this, you make love to this person, you go for a walk, you have dinner with them. Everything that you would be doing, you do with this individual. And you're going to find that person will, boom, walk right into your life. Try it. You'll like it. I hope you enjoyed this video. We put a little...
Perfect, thank you. So how many of you seen that video before? Very few, good. So new audience, right? The fun thing about this particular video was most of the people that were in Amy's coaching program are usually single. So this was a great video for them, right? They're like, oh, I'm gonna find my soulmate. It's awesome. I, on the other hand, was like, I'm good here, check, right? At the time that I watched this video, Ash and I had been together for 27 years. And then so I was like, you know what? I'm good, thanks. It's been fun. 3 minutes, I'll never get back, but it's okay, I can live with that. So then, one of the responsibilities when you're in the coaching program is to meditate every single day. So I meditate every day, right? 5 a.m., I'm not the John Tsai, being at the gym 5 a.m. in the morning, that's not me. I do work out, but not at that hour, but I do meditate. And then so probably about a week later, it dawned on me that, I could use this principle just in a different format, right? As much as I liked my first-time homebuyers, because they kept the lights on, I made about 15 grand a year dealing with first-time homebuyers. Not bad, okay money, right? So I figured, all right, how do we amp this up? How do we really turn this on? And then so I had my light bulb moment, and I sat down, watched the videos over and over again. And I'm gonna give you the action items. It's a very simple 5-step process that you gotta be able to do. But this is my 4th iteration of my ideal client, okay? And it's my version. You're welcome to copy it, use it, make it yours, okay? But here's the thing. These are the types of people I want. These are the characteristics of the people I want. It's not a person, right? I have many clients that I love and enjoy engaging with. And you know what the fun part is? When I got to this level, because this is after 3 years of changing, I got to this level, not only are they raving fans of me, I'm raving fans of them. I connect them with my other clients because they're looking to be able to grow their business. They're looking to be able to do something exceptional. And it gives me an opportunity to have a blast with them. All right, I'll give you a very simple example. I know we're running short on time. I'm actually doing my 3rd trip to Port Alberni. I know, Port Alberni, so sexy. But I'm doing my 3rd trip to Port Alberni this weekend. She's doing an all expenses paid trip for me, right? So I'm gonna go there, help her close on her house, and get the deal done, okay? Cool opportunity. 3 years ago, even 7 years ago when I started, would have never even crossed my mind, okay? But what an awesome opportunity. So I want you to understand if that's what you're really looking for, that's where you're gonna go. So let's talk about the 5 steps. Here we go. For you, homework is simple, okay? Watch the video over and over and over again, right? Write down all the things that Bob talks about, the various different traits. Then really slow it down, okay? And really dig deep into the characteristics that you want. If you looked on there and you took a picture of it, in my clients, I'm looking for people that are doing multiple transactions at once. First-time homebuyers, one-shot wonders. Woohoo! Not fun. Okay, in 2021, I had 2 sets of clients that did 3 transactions all at once. Nice, right? Less people I got to deal with, easier to communicate, a lot more fun, let's put it that way. And I appreciate all the time and energy that taught me how to be able to be a better realtor. Write things down, okay? We all talk about it. There is a different part of your brain that activates the minute you write stuff down. Write it down, okay? I did all of that on MindMaster because it's prettier. If you use my penmanship, not so pretty, okay? And post it everywhere. I originally started out, used to be on my phone, used to be on my computer, used to be on a variety of different places that really helped me to just constantly remind me, these are the people I'm looking for, right? I have a big cork board that's in my bedroom, and I have various different ones. Now, when I first started out, I started out with one for buyers and one for sellers. I was like, oh, I think they're different people. No, they're not. They're one and the same, okay? But who's actually thinking about growing a team in 2023? Yeah, do one for your team members, okay? Very, very important, all right? Then you've got the right people coming to you, okay? Who has, who is looking to be able to grow like their vendor base? So like we've got all these sponsors, mortgage brokers, and things of that nature. Who's actually looking to grow that particular network in 2023? Yeah, do one for them, okay? And then I'm gonna ask the awkward question. You don't have to answer it if you don't want to. Who's single and actually wants to be in a relationship in 2023? My hands are down, just so we're clear. Okay, see, nobody put their hand up. See, 1, 2 people. Thank you, Marco. There we go. Do one for your life partner, okay? It's not complicated, guys. It'll actually make your life a heck of a lot easier because the decision-making process, okay, is so complicated every single day, but if you've got something that just helps you to say, this is who I'm looking for, your life becomes a heck of a lot simpler. All right? Good. I'm going to give you with the last and probably one of my most favorite quotes that I've picked up over the last little while. And this was helpful in my transition for what I really was looking for. Okay? What you seek is seeking you. Understand that the law of attraction is about I want X, and that same thing is looking for you. So your life partner that you're looking for is looking for you. Your ideal client is looking for you. And Nav, I am so grateful you went before me, brother, because I have to tell you, if you apply this principle and this process and create your content based on what Nav said earlier, they'll be running at you through the floodgates. I know he's told me, this was really funny, and I'm a little afraid of this, which is, he's been recognized at the grocery store. He'd be like, oh my God, you're that guy on TikTok. And I'm like, it's like a movie star, opportunity. So anyway, I just wanted to share with you, these are my pieces around ideal client avatar. I hope that you find this to be hugely powerful and have a phenomenal 2023. Thank you very much for your time.
All right.
Hi.
Great talk. So
Hey.
we have some questions for Ateesh. This is your opportunity right now. We have a few. The first one is...
Sorry,
yes.
1 second. We'll be right with you, I promise.
Sorry, I just missed the name of the video.
So if you go into YouTube and search it, it is Life Partner, okay, Bob Proctor. He rolled it out. It's under the PGI, so the Proctor Gallagher Institute channel, and it's about 2 years old. Okay? Yeah, great question. Yes?
First question, Ateesh, I would love to hear your numbers before doing the ICA and after.
Yeah, for sure. So I started in 2016, late in the year. 2017, we did about 100,000 in GCI. 2018, just about 90,000 in GCI. 2019 was better. I would say 105, I think, is where we finished. And then I went to 315 in 2021. Okay, so triple my income. And I was averaging about 10 to 12 deals a year. So one a month, which is kind of okay. But I hear Nav and I'm going, wow, I was really laying down. So then I went to 30 transactions in 2021. Okay, and it's been fortunate enough, it's actually been very consistent since. Okay, yeah, great question.
Yes, right there in the back.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ateesh. Question for you. When did you realize that this law of attraction actually manifested for you? When did you realize that it worked?
30 years ago when my wife found me. Totally. Hands down, man. So she's a much more powerful manifester than I ever will be. I'm a very deep analytical. And so, I strive for perfection. And so that just slows me down. Okay? But the reality of the situation was I was looking for more. I felt very stuck in 2019. I lost my mom in 2018. So that'll give you a moment where you feel very stuck because you're not sure what's happening in life, right? And so 2019, I went through that, and I funny thing, John's, he's not in the room. I used to sit in the front row, so John does training every Thursday. I used to sit in the front row, and literally John every single week would be like, you need a coach, you need a coach, you need a coach, and I spent a year and a half listening to the guy, finally got one, and I said, you know what, what's the worst that'll happen, right? I'm not happy where I'm at, I gotta do something different, and Amy was God sent. She was the right fit for me, so. I thought I saw a hand over here. No?
Yes.
Yes, please. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome question. So, let me clarify a couple of things, right? So I still take clients, but I'm a heck of a lot pickier. Okay? First-time homebuyers, right? In 2021, I did 2 transactions with first-time homebuyers. One was my cousin, who was 60 years old, Ash's cousin, okay? Number 2 was my niece. Okay, other than that, everybody else was an existing owner. It was either a listing, right, or they'd purchased a home somewhere else. Now, I will farm stuff out, okay? That happens often. I've got a couple of buyers right now that are, shopping in the sub 500 category, right? And, I farm them out. It makes it a lot easier. I'm fortunate. I actually have a great network of new realtors that are hungry as heck to be able to get stuff done. So I pass it off to them and let them make some great money. Okay? Yeah. So, and don't get stuck that it has to be this way. I'll promise I'll get to your question in a minute. Don't get stuck that it has to be this way. I've changed that 4 times in 3 years. If you saw my very first one, you'd be like, what were you thinking? Right? But over time, I've gotten smarter because I'm looking for something very specific, right? So my next iteration, I'm super excited about. Yes, please, the gentleman.
Yeah, thanks, Ateesh.
My pleasure.
I'm just wondering how you mix or how you blend the prospecting thing with your approach of trying to attract the right people. Like if you're out there on the phones, like these people are going to come in that you're going to be spending a lot of time that it's not going to be the kind of person you want to deal with. So
Totally. Yeah, great question. So before I start prospecting, I actually look at my sheet, my printout. I look at it and I'm like, okay, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. I get my head in the right space, right? And then I've created very specific questions around my traits. Very simple, right? So is this your first time buying a home in Canada, or have you purchased a home somewhere else? Yeah, I own a home in India. I own a home in Spain. I've got 3 homes in Mexico. Okay, check, right? How do you handle, critical decisions where there's a lot of emotion involved, Mr. Customer? They'll tell you, well, I go to the analytics. I sit down, look at the numbers. I rely on you for your expertise. Because, one of my traits is emotionally sound, right? I'm looking for emotionally sound. I have enough of the roller coaster myself. So I try to avoid people that I need to deal with the roller coaster on their own. So questions like that, really think that stuff through. And it doesn't have to be in the pre-qual, just so we're clear, right? If you've got a discipline where you're actually asking some great questions, it doesn't have to be there, but build your rapport with them and you'll figure all of this stuff out with time. Does that help? Yeah? Amazing. Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Ateesh.
We're on cue. Hey, that was great. I was actually on time.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. That was fun. Good job, buddy. You're awesome.
Yeah, law of attraction is pretty good mixed with Tinder as well, just letting you know. Anyways, we also want to thank you, our next sponsor. Just want to give a huge thanks for Worslook. It's helping realtors dominate their local marketplace by turning online viewers into clients. Get a team to execute your marketing campaign, get your time back to prospect, be with clients built by your team, and close more deals. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle from Worslook.
Thank you so much for the warm introduction, and I am so grateful to be here. Thank you, John Tsai, the Vancouver Mastermind. I really appreciate it. So my name is Kyle Kirkhees. That's me. I am the Chief Sales Officer of Worslook, and I'm also an owner there. Now, every day, somebody is waking up, doing it better than you, doing more with less resources. Why does this matter? So Ateesh and Nav, great talks. Ateesh, talking about mentorship. Who here knows what DIY means? Do it yourself, right? A man who is self-taught is... Would John mentor himself when he started, or would he seek a mentor? A person who is self-taught has a fool for a teacher. Now, this is a real-life example of an agent that we work with. When we work with agents, we sit down and we want to understand, where is all your marketing energy going? Every single thing that requires to make a transaction. And so we sat down and we identified, bus placements, billboards, paid ads, junior employee, $4,000 a month, video editing tool for the junior employee, social posting tool for that employee, a website, training the employee, and then DIY. So at the end of the month, we calculated they were investing $20,000 worth of marketing energy every month. Now, how is that marketing energy distributed across their customer database? Ateesh talks about knowing his customers and how that's being able to give him so much more profitability in his business. So when we looked at the distribution, this individual did 35 transactions of repeat customers and referrals. Their customer acquisition costs for those types of transactions were $1,000 each. Differently, the new customers, they spent $205,000 generating that business and taking care of that business in that year. Their customer acquisition cost was $13,667 per transaction for new business. That's $6,167 of a loss per transaction. So here you are. You have a database. There's people that you know, people that they know, and you have these clients, and you're going out to the bar and chasing skirts and just looking for anybody on the street, and that takes up a lot of your time. So when we look at this model, this is called the puck-on model. Now, on the left side of the graph, it shows a return on investment versus the energy spent to get that kind of a business. If you notice, present customers and upsells, which are referrals for agents, requires the least amount of energy for the highest return. And what here is the most expensive kind of business to go after? New business. It requires so much of your time, and Ateesh just pointed that out. So, who here knows Pareto's Law? 80-20, everyone familiar with the 80-20 rule? As marketers, we use this when we analyze databases. 20% of your customer base will produce 80% of your revenue. That's from referrals and present customers. 80% of your marketing expense will produce 20% of your revenue. New business. So, what kind of business would you go after? And would you rather do it yourself or find a mentor, delegate these tasks to experts, and get your time back and expand, just like John and many other leaders have? So if you're somebody who wants to expand on social media, get really granular on your numbers, and become extremely profitable with less time while doing more and expanding your team, come talk to us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kyle. All right, so the next group we have is going to be a panel. And the next person I'm going to introduce is Connie Tobias. She's been a realtor for over a decade and has worked with developers and investors on large-scale land assembly projects. She started in pre-sales of new home developments, working directly with developers and agencies. Her experiences and successes have been over 30 condos, townhomes, and single-family developments, selling the most luxurious and iconic residential homes in the Lower Mainland and on Vancouver Island. Please help me welcome Connie Tobias to the stage. Woo!
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Ignite 2023. Are you guys all ready to go? First off, I wanted to thank our developer sponsor, ML Emporio and Prima Marketing, for their support. They are going to be launching Sequoia, which is a highly anticipated tower in West Village, Surrey, and it's going to start next month, which is in about less than 2 weeks. So if you want to know more details, make sure you register online. It's at sequoiawestvillage.ca. They'll have some VIP incentives for you guys. So make sure you do that. I wanted to introduce our panel today. First off, we have Katarina Maxwell. Katarina, with over 8 years of real estate investment experience, Katarina brings a wealth of knowledge, and she serves Greater Vancouver and the Fraser Valley area, specializing in new home constructions. Katarina spent 12 years working as a chemist prior to joining real estate full-time. Crazy. Clients appreciate her flexibility, patience, ability to listen, hear what client wants, and negotiation skills, and her ability to accurately price and market their homes. She ranked in the top 100 BC real estate agents on social media. Please help me welcome Katarina. And next we have Nick Lowe. Nick, as a dedicated real estate agent, Nick takes pride in putting his clients first. He understands that each client has unique needs and goals. He strives to listen carefully to their motivations to help them secure their homes. He believes that trust, integrity are the foundation of a very meaningful relationship. And he's committed to building lifelong relationships with every one of his clients. With his extensive experience as a project manager, he brings a unique advantage to our industry. He's also very skilled at mapping out a clear plan for his clients to achieve their real estate goals. Please help me welcome Nick. I'm gonna make room. I'll sign up here. So we have, last but not least, Josh Yip. Josh is a highly successful and respected member of our industry. He has been in the industry for over a decade. Throughout his career, Josh has achieved outstanding results, earning his recognition and awards from major developers and marketing agencies. As a licensed real estate agent, Josh has developed an extensive knowledge and wealth of experience that he's eager to share with our fellow agents. Please help me welcome Josh Yip. So I'm going to stand right here. You guys can see me? So let's start with, oh yeah. Go up there, okay. Can I stand right here? Okay. Katarina, let's start with you. We have a couple questions. Katarina, what advice would you give to a solo agent that's trying to break into today's pre-sale market?
So when I started doing pre-sales, the market was very, very hot. We're talking about 1,000 home request forms per every project. And keep in mind, a lot of these projects only had 60, 80 homes to sell, looking at a low-rise building, maybe about 300 for high-rise. So here I was running around all the different presentation centers. Getting clients from me was not an issue, right? I found a way to bring leads. You know, on an average project, I would put about 8 to 12 home request forms. And the sad part was, sometimes I get a few, sometimes I get absolutely none. And it was frustrating because if I get a few homes, I had 10 clients who just missed out on that project. And for me, I felt terrible, right? So I needed to get them into the next project. So I thought to myself, okay, there's got to be a better way of doing this. So what I decided to do is I focused on 2 largest marketing companies out there, and I would consistently show up to their projects, right? I'll go to their realtor previews, I'll go to their launches. When the client previews start, I would bring as many clients as I could. So when a developer or marketing person sees that, right, they start to recognize your face. They know you can do volume because you're bringing all those clients. And then it's just a matter of building relationship with those sales managers. Because those sales managers might be moving to a different company. They might be moving on a different project. But as long as you stay in touch with them and you bring pre-qualified, high-quality clients, right, who aren't going to rescind, 7-day rescission period on a pre-sale. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with that. If your client rescinds and you can't fulfill that unit with somebody else, it's going to go bad for you.
And prices go up, right?
Exactly. So for me, it came down to focus on 1 or 2 developers or marketing companies, show up consistently, bring good quality clients, make sure they don't rescind, and this is how I got started. So now I'm fortunate enough to be an ambassador, what they call the VIP realtor, with a lot of these companies, just because I do higher volume at those projects.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that story with us. The audience here probably can resonate with you that it's tough to get inventory in today's pre-sale market. So get out there, go to your site visits, meet your site staff. We have some pre-sale staff here that are here to support us today. So be sure to hit them up in the audience here. So let's talk about the next question with Nick. Nick, why should your client consider purchasing in the pre-sale market today?
Well, what is the main conversation in real estate today? It's high interest rates, right?
Yes.
Well, if that is concerning for your client, then perhaps they should look into a pre-sale, just because completion is not going to be until a few years down the road. And if we believe that the macroeconomy is going to bounce back like it has time and time again, then it's pretty safe to assume that interest rates are going to come back down as well.
So when you were talking about high interest rates, I wanted to ask you a question. Do you have a pool of a network of mortgage brokers that you work with closely that you can quickly get your clients connected with them, get their pre-approval, so that you can help them succeed?
Yeah, I do have a selective few that I usually like to work with, just because I know they're reliable and we get things done. But at the end of the day, just like having a client looking for a home, right? We're here to be matchmakers. So what I like to do is, look for the client and the mortgage broker to be similar personality types, right? Communication is great. So I would say it's situational, but usually, yes, there are the selective few.
Awesome, thank you for sharing that. We have our next question for Josh. Josh, how did you become so successful in the pre-sale sector I know we have over a decade of experience on your belt.
So I started in 2012, and at that time there wasn't as much competition. I was able to build a website mainly targeting developments, and from there I was able to start to really build a track record to get these VIP access. And from there, with the VIP access in 2013 to 2017, the access that I was able to get was assigned floors. So it really helped with me selling the units, making me look like an expert during that time.
And you also have a website that you started that would help build your database. So 2017, you took a break. What happened after 2017?
So from 2017, there was a foreign tax. Basically, the whole market slowed down, pretty much like right now. But right now, it's more of like a foreign ban, high interest rate, purchase price even way higher. So at that time, it was still a bit better than now, in a way. But the competition it was already a little bit worse than when I started. But right now, there's way more competition in the market compared to 2017. So in 2017, because I started in 2012, I grinded all the way to 2017 for those 5 years. And because of the market slowdown, I decided to travel more and spend more time with my family.
That's important. I think we need to make time, find balance between work and family, and be able to make that a daily effort, right? Okay, well, thank you so much, Josh. Let's go back to Katarina. Katarina, when there's a client who reaches out to you to want to buy a pre-sale, what skill set do you need to have to best help your clients, in your opinion?
So the skill set is very similar to a resale. So pre-qualify your clients, educate them. On the pre-sale side, a lot of buyers don't actually know that you need a much higher deposit. Like, you can't buy a pre-sale with 5% anymore. It's just not the case.
That's right.
And when a lot of buyers reach out to me, they're actually not aware of that. And I was like, all right, how much money do you have to put on a pre-sale? They're like, okay, 5%. I'm like, not gonna happen. So in a lot of these cases, it's a 15 to 20% deposit. So in that case, I can actually convert them to resale clients if that doesn't work out. But it comes down to, pre-qualify client, know what they're looking for, educate them. Negotiation skills, right? So a lot of these projects on the hot market, yes, you're basically paying what the developer is asking for. However, if you do higher volume, you always get incentives and different perks, being one of those VIP realtors and ambassadors. And relationship with developers, right? They'll give you a little bit more if they know that your clients aren't going to rescind and they're serious. So it all comes down to that as well.
So with the skills that you learned, because there's not really a course or a school out there that teaches you how to, sell pre-sale product, it's a different beast compared to the resale market. Katarina, do you have a coach or is it all self-taught?
So I really wish we had more classes on pre-sales. It's like the real estate board doesn't want you to do any pre-sales. It seems like it, right? So I'm, for the most part, self-taught. I started going to presentation centers like 15 years ago, way before I got licensed. For me, it's something I've been super, super passionate about. I would say if you wanted to speed up the learning curve, partner up with an agent in your office that knows what they're doing with pre-sales. And there's not that many realtors who actually know how to do pre-sale. We have the occasional realtors who do a pre-sale deal here and there. But I would say if you wanted to get ahead, partner up with an agent who knows what they're doing, and they primarily do pre-sales. Paperwork is different, right? There is no PDS and title. Right. You have to understand what kind of documents needed to be reviewed, the developer's disclosure, the amendments. So paperwork is quite different, and you need to know that paperwork and advise your client what the heck they're actually signing.
Good tips. Thank you so much, Katarina. So let's move on to Nick. Nick, you close one deal in the first 6 months to closing over 20 deals, right? Over 20 deals in 12 months. What changed?
So there were two significant changes. Number one, I started building meaningful relationships with the developer, AKA the sales team. So once you build that trust, they were going to ensure that you succeed, whether that be giving you inventory in a super hot market when inventory is difficult to achieve, or giving you the best priced unit, best priced location, right? They'll make sure you succeed. And also, as Katarina was saying earlier, right? With pre-sale, there is a 7-day rescission period that buyers can exercise at no cost to them. Try your hardest not to exercise that option because, of course, sales team,
they don't like them.
They don't want to write up a contract just for you to say no, right?
Yeah.
And number two, and the most important one, is mindset. So every morning, I dedicate 15 minutes of my time to do some meditation. I do this before I do anything else, just so there's less thoughts running in your head. This is when I set my intentions for the day. Once your intention is set, the energy that you give out will be altered, and people are gonna automatically want to work with you, right? So that is what I do in the morning. I end off the day with a workout. I like working out at night just to kind of clear my thoughts, and what I do is just kind of rinse and recycle the next day.
Working out at night. I know there are a few 4 or 5 a.m. club morning workout members here. So working out at night, does that keep you at night? Keep you up at night? You can't sleep, or does it help?
Yeah, so I've tried the 5 a.m. workout before. It just it doesn't work with me. It doesn't mean it's not going to work in the future. Maybe I'll try that again. But for me, working out at night, like I said, it clears my thoughts and it kind of gives me that reset. So it actually helps me sleep very well.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So, Josh, back to you. How do you continue in today's pre-sale market to become a successful agent?
So in today's market, we basically would need to team up to give our brokerage the full support to be able to have our brokerage make us get the true VIP access for us to be able to look like an expert back on the market.
Better service our
If you're submitting selection forms and you're not getting the units, you're looking very bad in front of everybody. Other brokerage agents is able to get that access. They're taking your clients. They're making your mindset very negative. So in order to really solve this issue is really to team up, have the support, bring everyone in, and in return, everybody would get this value back. And when you're able to do a lot of deals, you're able to build this business cycle where you help them recommend to buy the best pre-sale, and before completion, you can help them assign. So once you help them assign, most likely you're going to be already helping them made money already. So then when you help them make money, they see the value. The next time, they are going to buy from you again on the project you recommend.
You create a fan base that follows you every site, right? Yes. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you being here, sharing all your stories with us. I hope everyone has taken a little bit of inspirations from each and one of us here. So should we open up to Q&A? We should.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any questions for our panelists here?
Yeah, so we
Pre-sale
do
questions?
get some question on Slido. So for everyone that doesn't want to raise your hand, if you are shy, you can just scan the QR code on the sheet that you received this morning. That's the QR code, and then just type the question in for it. So the first question is actually to Katarina. Why did you choose to switch from being a chemistry to a realtor, and how did that look?
I thought this might come up.
It's a big change, Katarina.
It was a big change, leaving a career of just over 12 years. It was a pretty big change. For me, I've just always been so passionate about real estate, right? I bought my first home when I was in my early 20s, and then I started buying investment real estate and growing my portfolio. At some point, my passion and love for real estate just took over, and that's when I decided to actually get licensed. So the only regret I have is not getting licensed sooner. As you can imagine, scientists don't make a whole lot of money. So just in my first year alone, I was able to triple my income.
Wow.
Amazing.
It was quite incredible. And who you join, which brokerage you join, makes a huge difference.
Absolutely.
I found my mentor, and that just really skyrocketed my business. I didn't want to be a DOIer. I didn't want to learn how to sell on my own, right? So I found a mentor, and it's been a crazy journey.
I bet it's hard too, right? Jumping from a 12-year career to being a brand new realtor, making that decision, it's massive.
And also, just to chime on that, when you go from a chemistry career, which is 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, it's 5 o'clock, you're off to go home, and you just check out, right? As a small business owner, it's basically a 24/7, right? So my first year, I I don't think I even got any days off. Like, it was basically a grind 7 days a week, 10 to 12-hour days. And that's how I was able to triple my income, right? It's a grind.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that.
So the next question we got brings to you guys. How are you guys getting your leads for pre-sale? Maybe start with Nick.
I would say around 50% of my leads would be from social media. Social media, I guess that also includes some paid advertisements as well. Also, after you do a few and your customers are happy with your service, they're gonna automatically refer you to, their clients. So the best, or not their clients, their friends, their families, right? And the referral business is probably, the best way, right? Number one, you know that you served your client well. So that gives you, it gives you that tingly feeling. And then as well as, you don't have to pay to get these.
Excellent. Katarina?
For me, it's also been social media. My first year for pre-sale deals, 100% of them came from primarily Facebook, actually. Some of it was organic, but most of it was actually paid marketing. Yeah. So when you approach developers, they usually have what they call an A kit or a realtor kit. So they give you all the renderings, they give you all the videos. So you grab that, and then you just run your own advertisement for these projects. And this is how realtors will sell 10 to 20 units per project. That's what they do, right?
And to get these A kits or marketing materials, you have to register online with the individual developments, yeah?
Correct. And, luckily for me, I'm in a position where I get the heads up about these projects. Like, just like last week, I got a project, I got a call from Fifth Avenue, and they said, hey, we have a project coming up in Mission. We're doing a VIP realtor event. So I typically get 3 to 4 week heads up before they even do a blast to every other realtor on their mailing list.
So it gives you plenty of time, put your ads out, and grab your database through that social media.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. We're hearing a lot of that. Okay.
So this is actually a pretty interesting one. So after a pre-sale contract is accepted by a developer, what do you highlight for your clients on the contract and also disclose tips that you can share?
After an accepted offer?
Yeah. No. So like the follow-up. Oh, okay.
Okay,
Can I share? I'll jump in and share.
Okay.
So after an offer is accepted, there's a grace period that nobody wants to talk about. Developers don't like to hear. It's called a rescission period. You want to spend that 7 days to secure, confirm, and make sure that your client understands the contract, understands what they're buying into, go through disclosure statement, go through details, make sure that they have no questions, no buyer's remorse, and go through the deposit structure again, because they'll forget. They'll come back and ask you over and over again, how much did I pay? Or how much do I owe? So you want to make sure and reinforce that it's a great purchase, and that way your rescission rate can be low. You want to keep that almost at 0. It is tough to do, but it can be done. I've done it, and I know all of you guys have done it, and that's how developers will come back and reach out to you every single time when they launch a project, and that's how you can get in, again, right? Get into that first access, the real first access.
Yeah, and also remember, I know we all realtors doesn't really like to read the disclosure statement. It's 300, 400 pages. We all know it's a lot of stuff, but sometimes it's important that we also know the outside day of the outside day, that it can be extended infinity time. Can you say it that way? But it's actually not. So 120 days of each extend. So whatever is that is one of the most important. And sometimes nowadays, disclosure statements for some of the developer that you might, in the industry, you read it, they do put in a building cost to put it in there. Let's say when they finish, if the building cost goes up, they might charge X% of that later on the purchase price. So that is one of the things that is actually really important to read it, to be tell to your clients for it. Okay, so any other audience want to raise their hand, ask questions? If not, I'm gonna go for it. So for new developers, how do you guys help clients to build trust for them, to the developer?
Developers that we've never worked with before.
It's a lot more challenging if developer does not have a track record, right? But having said that, have I sold with brand new developers? Yes. So I think the most important thing to look at, who's building the project. Because the developer is somebody who acquired the land and is getting financing to build, but a lot of the times developers don't have in-house construction. So with the few projects that I've sold last year that were brand new developers, I looked at, okay, who's building your project, right? And in a lot of the cases, they hire an experienced construction company to build out those projects.
Third party, yeah.
So then you can go to a client and say, okay, yes, it is a new developer. They're just entering the market. However, this is the company that's actually going to be building that project. And here's all the projects that they've built in the past, and those are the developers they've built for. And that usually works.
Great.
Okay. So what percentage of your business is resale versus pre-sale? So ratio.
Good question.
My ratio would be around 60% pre-sale to 40% resale.
For me, it's about around the same. So I would say 70 to 75% is pre-sale, like especially last year because the market was so hot, people would lose out on the resale market, and I'd be like, okay, why don't we just get into pre-sale and wait for it a bit, 2 to 3 years. Yeah, that's mine.
Mine was 90% pre-sale and basically just 10% resale throughout those 5 years in 2012, 2017.
Awesome. Thank
So
you.
everyone is very different. How much volume do you need to do before you become a VIP with the developer?
That's a trick question.
It really depends how much you want to grind and hustle, right? I mean, on average in Greater Vancouver, we have dozens and dozens of projects. I think you got to specialize in one area. I mean, for me, I'm kind of all over the place. But my bread and butter is actually Fraser Valley, just because the price points are so much affordable. You can get a 2-bedroom between 600 and 650. That's like perfect for your first-time home buyers looking at a 2-bed, perfect for investors. It's, I would say focus on like one area, and then focus on one big marketing company that has most of the projects in Fraser Valley, and kind of go from there.
Well, thank you so much, guys. Someone could shout again. Nick, Katerina, Josh, and Connie.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Everyone. Thank you. Okay. Go ahead.
All right, another round of applause for that panelist. Woo! Okay, the next person I'm gonna bring up is another one of our amazing, amazing sponsors. His name is Wilbur Yang, and he comes with an extensive financial background.
Yes, please.
And access to competitive borrowing solutions. At BMO, he provides a suite of mortgage products to help you and your clients secure the
This thing.
financing required.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sweetie.
No deal is too big for him as he has no cap on the mortgage amount. And he has features such as adding cashbacks, financing properties under a holding company, and high net worth programs for clients to qualify without income qualification. He also has builder rates which hold up to 3 years for pre-sales and longest live deal rate hold for 130 days on the market. Bring your deals to him and he'll strive to find the best financing solution with one of the most competitive rates on the market. Give a warm welcome to Wilbur Yang. Nice to meet you.
Hi. Well, actually, that was my 5-minute speech right there, so she did a lot for me. So my name is Robert. I am the mortgage specialist with Bank of Montreal. Yes, I am from the bank, which is not as exciting as it used to be. And, but I just wanted to let you know, even though BMO is the oldest bank in Canada, doesn't mean we're stuck in our old ways. Nowadays, we understand the challenge of qualifying customers. So we have updated to our guidelines. We answer to ourselves, obviously, and the OFSI. Well, I gotta mention that too. But for clients, if there's no, I should put it this way, there's no deal that shouldn't work. As long as we can find a good reason and good rationale behind it to mitigate the risk we see on the file, we can always secure financing for you and your clients. We do all kinds of properties. I remember back then I did one deal. The property was on ARR, Agricultural Land Reserve. We didn't think it was possible, but our underwriter has helped us to make it work, and the clients secure the financing they need. So for us nowadays, you know what? We entertain all kinds of deals, right? If you're thinking, oh, I'm looking at this file, I'm looking at this property, I'm not sure if the bank will entertain this, come and ask me. Give me a call, give me a text, email me, and I will tell you, yes, you are right, bank doesn't want this. No, I'm kidding. We can still work it out for you. So hopefully, you know, I know there's a lot of other mortgage brokers out there, and they're top professionals as well. For us, I can only access the BMO product, but I do also strive to find the best financing solution for you. And as Denise just mentioned, we also do pre-sale rate holds. So what it means is, say we have a project that goes 3 years away. We do one approval right now, one appraisal. We do not look back. The value is secured, the financing is secured, your rate is good for 3 years, the approval is forever. And once it comes to about 4 months, your developer has confirmed the completion date, we look back on the file and give you the best possible pricing without reapproving the file again. Okay? Hopefully, you know, I remember there was just a panel of pre-sale specialists up here, so we should definitely talk. I don't know where they are now. So anyways, I'm the booth at the back. Come find me. And then I find that a lot of people talk about their working experience, working out experience. I would like to share mine. I absolutely did zero workout in the past 5 years. What you see right here, it's organic grown by whiskey and Big Macs. Right? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Wilbur.
Thank you, Wilbur. So before sending everyone to lunch, hold on. I know you guys are excited to eat, but just hold on for it a bit. So we just want to kick a shout out for one of our sponsors, Ofu Card. Thank you for supporting our event last time and this time again. And we're going to welcome Ofu Card founder Raza to our stage to talk about the amazing card that you should get it outside right now, later on.
Thank you, thank you.
Welcome, Reza.
Well, welcome to Ignite. I hope you get a ton of value from all the speakers and all the amazing stuff happening here. We love what Sarah, John, and the whole team behind Ignite is doing, and we couldn't resist not sponsoring, and we are giving away complimentary OVU business cards. These are $80 value. You're getting it for free because you're here, and we've got wonderful staff at the back. Tyla and Anuka can help you. If you don't know what OVU is, you simply, I've got my hands tied, so you simply get one of these cards, set up your account, you tap, thank you, you tap, let me set this up. There we go. You tap your phone or the other person's phone, and all your profile pops out with all your social media, all your information, and you can exchange contact. And I hope you're crushing it in 2023. You're building your personal brand and your reputation, and go out there, make connections, and build relationships. Don't forget to get your card.
Thank you, OVU cards. Make sure you go to the back and get one of those cards. So we are just about to break out for lunch, but before we do that, make sure you go check out YVR Photos. They have the 360 photo booth. Make sure you tag us That's so important. And we are just about to break for lunch for 45 minutes, so please be back at your seats at 12:30. For those of you who have a platinum membership, you're gonna have lunch with our Glenn Sanford, who's here. So please, all the platinum members, you come out through this door, and they'll meet you to the side, all right? Have a great lunch, everyone.
We'll see you guys later.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back from lunch. We are so excited for the second half of our Ignite event, and we are ready to get rockin' and rollin'. And the first thing we're gonna go is our next sponsor is an amazing, amazing renovation company. I have actually seen their renovations, and they are high quality, high finishings, and we are just about to roll this video. Please pay attention because there's going to be some amazing value added.
Attention all realtors in Vancouver, BC. Are you tired of waiting for maintenance or renovation services for your listings? Are you looking for a reliable partner to assist you with your client's renovation needs? If your answer is yes, Van RC Home Improvement has the perfect promotion for you. Introducing Van RC Home Improvement, the one-stop solution for all your property needs. We understand the challenges that Vancouver realtors face when it comes to property maintenance, quick fixes, and renovations. That's why we've introduced our exclusive membership program, only for Vancouver realtors. For just $70 per month, you'll get access to a bunch of services that will make your life easier. Firstly, we offer one free walk-through maintenance check, list report of any issues in property to realtors for ensure your listing property is always maintained and managed. Secondly, we provide free quick services for fixing and repairing all small issues, so you don't have to worry about little problems becoming big headaches. Thirdly, you won't have to wait in a waiting list because we prioritize your requests and give you services as quickly as possible so that you can list the property faster. Furthermore, our expert team will provide a measurement and architectural plan of your listing. Not only that, we also provide management of all other services that you might need for your listings, including cleaners, staging, photographers, and video shooting. It doesn't end there. If your customer needs a renovation loan, our financial partners are ready to assist your customers at any time. And all of this is available for just $70 per month to join our membership realtors program. And to express our gratitude, we offer a 5 to 10% commission of the total amount of contract for full renovation project that you refer to us. Vancouver realtors, don't miss out on this opportunity to make your life easier. Join our membership program today and leave all your property worries to us. Contact us now for more information and join our membership to get access to all these services right away. Van RC Home Improvement, your partner in real estate renovation solutions.
Yes, thank you so much to Van RC for sponsoring. And make sure you take a picture of that screen because I have a listing currently listed at 1801 289 Drake with their finishing. So if you want to get an idea of the quality of workmanship, check out that listing. Take a look at this, take a picture of this. They're absolutely amazing. So the next sponsor we have here, Marco will introduce.
We also want to say thank you to Scan3D, elevated your listing with a suite of service, including accurate floor plan, hassle-free virtual staging, and numerous visual tours. Impress potential buyers with a detailed understanding of the property layout and flow, while showcasing it in the best possible light. With them in the back of the room, thank you, Scan3D, for sponsoring us for today's event.
Let's give our sponsors a round of applause. Woo! All right, I am incredibly excited to announce our next speaker. Please join me in welcoming Sarah KWAN. She's had over a decade of experience in the real estate industry and is a mother of not one, but two. She has established herself as a top agent. She has received numerous awards, including Medallion Club, and she's ranked top 10 out of 23,000 agents in BC on social media, making her authority figure in the field. Her passion for sharing her knowledge and expertise has led her to speak at multiple real estate conferences and classes to the Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver. Please help me give a warm welcome to the stage, Sarah KWAN!
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. So yes, so today we're going to be talking about unlocking Instagram and how you can earn an extra $100,000 in income in 2023. So for those of you, sorry, is this echoing a bit? I apologize. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Sarah KWAN. I am a realtor and mother to two beautiful little humans. And I have been recognized by a couple different social media agencies for being one of the top realtors on social media, both in Vancouver as well as BC. And by creating content on Instagram, it has allowed me to build some amazing relationships with some amazing people, some of which are in this room here today. And it has allowed me to generate over $300,000 in income to my business. And I'm here to share with you today that you can add income to your business utilizing Instagram, and it doesn't have to be overwhelming, because I know for a lot of us, we're like, you know, I'm self-conscious and I don't feel comfortable doing this. And the reality is you don't need to do all that much to be able to create a good amount of income. Actually, before we get into things, I'm going to do a selfie. Say hi, everybody. Woo! All right. Social media. Okay, so let's start with the basics. So your profile photo needs to be high resolution and professional. The reason for this is when people, let's say, are searching for a realtor, and if your profile photo pops up, you want that photo to capture their attention, and you want that photo to bring them to your page versus your competition. Your username, so it needs to be relevant to your field. If you can, put your full name in there, because if someone is, say, searching you on Google even, your Instagram profile may pop up. If you have your first name, no last name, or if you have, say, the username Vancouver Realtor, or, you know, Buy with Sarah, for example, they might not be able to find you. And the other thing is you need to include your services and your niche. So if you work with first-time buyers, if you work with downsizers, if people are looking for something specific that you specialize in, this can help you get found. Not to say that you don't work with other people, but this can also help you in terms of being searchable. In terms of the link, you want to utilize a third-party landing page. And what this does is it allows you to have multiple different links. So say if you have a YouTube page, if you have some downloadable content, if you have a website, because outside of Facebook links, Instagram only allows for one external link. At the very least, I suggest you utilize a website. If you don't have a website, please get one. We're in 2023. We're all professionals in here, and we should all at least have a website. The next one is contact information. So you can have your phone, email, WhatsApp. There are other things that you can connect in terms of being able to create appointments with, but these are the basics. I suggest you utilizing all of them unless you're like myself and you don't feel comfortable sharing maybe your phone number. So I'd suggest if you're a woman and you don't feel comfortable with it because, you know, there are some weird people out there, you don't have to share your phone number. It's kind of one additional step that people would have to take in order to get that phone number. They can shoot you a DM, they can send you an email. And then in terms of location, now this is something that I see a lot of people don't do. You should have your location in there because let's say if someone's looking to relocate and they're looking for someone who works in the Burnaby area because they're looking to relocate to Burnaby. If you, let's say, live, work in Burnaby, but you don't have that anywhere in your biography, they're not going to be able to find you. And if they do by chance stumble upon your page, but you don't have your location in there at all, they're probably going to move on to the next person. So I highly suggest if you take anything from today, please put your location in. And then account type. So you should link your Facebook business page with your Instagram page to create an Instagram business profile. This will allow you to have your field of work. So for example, realtor, I don't know if it's hard to see for you guys, but it says real estate agent. You can have that in your biography without having to take the character limit. So content strategy. So a lot of people say, you know, what do I post or how often? So what to post? I suggest doing a mix of business as well as personal. The reason for this is business is good when you're looking for someone who is, say, maybe looking for business right now. However, you want to post personal because if someone buys a home from you, the chances of them doing a transaction isn't going to be for the next, say, 5 years. So you want people to keep engaged with you along the way. This is a way for you being able to keep in touch with them without having to reach out to them on such a frequent basis. So let's say you're posting 1 to 2 times a week. You're more likely to have engagement from that than calling your sphere 1 to 2 times per week. They're probably going to get sick of you, right? So my suggestion is no more than 50% business, depending on what kind of page you're looking for. And how often. So for the general rule, I would suggest if you have, say, below 1,000 followers, I would suggest you post at 1 to 2 times per week, unless you're really looking to become an influencer. The reason why I say this is because if you don't have a large following, if you start pushing out too much content, it can actually hurt your algorithm, because if people are seeing that not a lot of people are engaging with that content and it's too much, then it actually will not push that content towards people outside of your audience. And then what to depict. So you want to depict your expertise and then who you are outside of real estate. And as Nav said earlier, be authentic. You know, people are going to naturally gravitate to people that they know, like, and trust and see a similar interest with. So feel free, you know, I have children, I don't post them a lot, but, you know, I post them in my stories sometimes. If you enjoy cooking, if you enjoy going to the gym, what is the common ground that these people can have with you? Because if there is some form of common ground, they're more likely to connect with you and feel like, you know what, I feel like this person, I know this person. So a lot of times when I'm working with a client, they kind of have a sense of who I am before doing business with me. And this makes the transaction so much smoother because there is that sense of trust. And when I'll go on a listing presentation, they're already there to sign everything. There's no questioning. So it just makes everything a lot easier. And then repeat what works. So going back in terms of connecting your Facebook business page to create an Instagram business page, this will allow you to see the analytics in terms of what is performing better, what content you should be duplicating or replicating, and what content doesn't really work with your audience. The how. So how I was able to generate over $100,000 per year in additional income, it's honestly very, very simple. I posted about my business. I shared about myself and showed people the authentic me. I highlighted how I differentiated myself from my competitors. So my marketing is very important to me, and that's how I stand apart from my competition. And people see that and want to utilize me for my services because I show what it is that I do. And then importantly, it's social media. You have to keep social and engage and interact. If someone has taken the time to like your post, to comment on your post, you know, do the bare minimum of responding to that comment because they maybe went out of their comfort zone to reach out to you. So the least you could do is to return that message. And then to stay consistent. So in terms of consistency, the reason why I was saying don't post more than 1 to 2 times per week unless you plan on becoming an influencer is because it might be too overwhelming for you. So if you start posting 4 times a week and you slow down to 1 time per week, that's going to hurt your engagement as well as your following and your growing. So we're going to talk about the 4 main types of content that you can post. You can do photo, carousel, reel, and story. So in terms of a photo is a static image. I'm going to put my phone down, sorry. It's a static image, and there's not a whole lot to see. You can do like a just sold, a market update, a testimonial, a photo about yourself, but you want to create engagement. So utilize the caption and share a story, share some information there. Don't just leave it blank. The other thing to note is when people are posting links in there, unless someone is looking at Instagram from their computer, they won't be able to click on the link. So utilize the link feature in your bio, and you can direct people to link in bio. Carousel. So carousel is a great feature because it's photo, it's video, and it can be up to 10 different photos or videos at one time. This allows people to scroll through, and then they stay on your post for a longer period of time. So you could do a just listed, you have the information, you have photos beyond that, you can do tips for buyers or sellers, you can do a different tip for each picture, before and after, and then something that's called a photo dump. So if you go on vacation, you could do a photo dump of everything that happened in the month of March. And it doesn't have to It doesn't have to be beautiful except for, maybe the first image. Reels. So because Instagram is competing with TikTok, they are pushing Reels. In terms of engagement, you're going to receive a much higher engagement within your following as well as outside. So you could do things like a property tour, something funny. You could do commentary. So commentary, some people will have themselves in it, but you don't have to. You could talk over, say, some images, some news articles, and then share a bit about yourself. In terms of stories, so stories, you could do things like behind the scenes, you could do Q&A, you can do a poll that's like this or that, you're just listed, so you can actually share content from your most recent post. Within stories, the aesthetic doesn't have to be as nice because this is where you're going to allow yourself to be, kind of the authentic you. It's not a professional photo, it doesn't have to be. But Instagram has what they call different stickers and options that you can utilize. So things like polls, questions, any of those features are actually going to push your engagement. Because you're utilizing a feature that Instagram wants you to use, they're actually going to push that content further. And then, you want to get social. So post, you really have to stop overthinking because a lot of us are in the same situation, but the difference is someone who's posting content, whether it's nice quality or not, they're actually putting the content out there and they're doing the work. So be consistent because, believe it or not, people want to see you. The funny thing is, even when people don't engage with your content, they're still watching. So I've had people that talk with me and say, oh yeah, I saw that post, oh yeah, I saw you do that over there. And so people are watching and seeing what you're doing, believe it or not. And interact, like I said, it's social media. Utilize hashtags so you can be searchable. So in posts, you can use up to 30 hashtags. Instagram has recommended more so for influencers, than the average user that they want to use 1 to 5 because they don't want you to overwhelm your audience, but still use up to 30 if you're starting, but make sure it's relevant to the category that you're in. In stories, you can use up to 10, and then also tag so that way you can be shareable. So say you have a just listed or a just sold. If you have a mortgage broker, you have your photographer, your videographer, someone who does your floor plan, those people who are a part of that process or a part of that transaction, tag them in that post. Reason being is you're supporting them in their business. They're more likely to share that post to their audience, which can help bring you more followers and bring you more engagement. And then to increase engagement, so create content that will keep people on that post. So you want to increase likes, comments, shares, and saves. And the Instagram algorithm actually works backwards. So Instagram is going to push your content more to the people at the bottom, so the people who saved your information because they actually want to watch it later, to the people who shared it with other people because that shows that it's information that other people are going to want to see, and then comments and likes. And in terms of your reach, so to give you an example, a static photo, you're going to get about anywhere from say 6 or 7 to, I think my stats are 10% of my audience sees my post as a photo. However, I get about 30% of my following seeing my reels. So that's why it's important to push video content out there because you're going to get that much more engagement because not everybody that follows you is actually seeing the information or content that you're posting. And then be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And this is something that I learned from Kaylin, who's over here, who's coming up next. Because our biggest moments of growth come from areas of being uncomfortable. And so my suggestion to you is just learn to be uncomfortable. Take that first step. Take that first post. Do that first video. I'm pointing at you, Ateesh. And just, yes, I'm calling you out. And just do it and take it one step at a time. Like I said, start with 1 to 2 times per week. Get comfortable with that. Once you're comfortable with that and realize, it's not all that scary, then you can continue to grow and increase that number of posts. But yes. That is all. It's very quick, sorry. So let's get social. Please follow me on Instagram at KWAN. And if you like some of the posts within my presentation, feel free to scan that QR code that is also on the sheet.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. This is why social media is king nowadays. It's how interesting people following you all the time, and sometimes if you don't post, you ghost it. They think, oh, where the heck are you? right? Are you out of business in this market? I mean, I get people like message me like I didn't post for 4 days because I went for a trip. They actually DM me. I was like, are you okay? Right? I mean, because that's why social media, because they've been looking at you every single day in the morning, and you already part of them. They just don't show you that. So that's why social media post it every single day to boost your awareness for it.
Yes.
So if you guys have any question, you can just scan the QR code to put in the Slido, or
raise
just
your
raise your
hand.
hand for it. So the first question we have, where do you find realtor social media ranking?
Rankings. Oh, okay. So there is Property Spark, and there is, oh gosh, I can't remember the name of the other one now. There's another one. Shoot me a DM and I'll send you. Sorry. But there are a couple social media platforms that rank agents. They actually do work for social media work for realtors. Yeah. And then also, I think there's a few other companies who I believe I've done a couple of interviews with some companies as well. So people will tend to reach out to you and let you know.
And your posts are beautiful, but I have no clue how to make posts. Can you give some tips for it?
No clue how to make posts. Okay, so if you don't know how to post, I suggest going to YouTube and searching how to post on Instagram. In terms of quality, I suggest, I mean, it's a bit of an investment, but I have hired a professional photographer to do my work. To be honest, when I first started my Instagram, I had, my just listed, just sold, open house, completely business. My face was nowhere on there at all. I was very uncomfortable putting myself out there. And then I saw all these, influencers are posting about, products that they bought, and they have this huge following for posting about, food and whatever else. So I was like, you know what, I see an opportunity here, and that's what made me shift. And the first time I took my husband out to help me take photos, and he's not a photographer. We took 500 photos, and I liked 2. But it was something, it was a start, it was a start for me, and that allowed me to post something. So, if you have an iPhone, if you have a camera, or if you have a friend, just go with a friend, go with someone that you feel comfortable with, and take, a shit ton of shots, and whatever sticks will stick, right? So that's my recommendation.
Any tips for content creation? I think it's for people who just want to get started.
Content creation. So in terms of video, or just in general, okay. Yeah. So like I was saying, if you're wanting to do just photos, so you do your just listed, you do your just sold, you do your open house, you can do your testimonials, you can do tips for buyers or sellers, you can do Q&A. There's so much information out there. You can even Google search what to post. But for me, it's kind of on the fly and what I feel like at the moment. I know that doesn't really help, but yeah.
This is interesting. How did you make $100,000 from IG? How did you know the sales come from IG content?
Oh, yes. So good question. So before I did my first presentation the last time, I actually went back and looked at my sales to see where did these sales come from, and then I actually went through and added up the GCI. So that is how.
And what percentage of your business come from social media?
I'd say about 50. Yeah.
That's why we all have a smartphone. Just get it out, shoot contents. It's easy. It's not rocket science for it. We just need. We all have everyone using a flip phone in here? Anyone? Or pager? Anyone have a pagers or fax machine at home right now that's still using? Okay, so I guess we are on 2.0 right now, every single thing. Anyone that never heard about ChatGPT in here? Okay. You guys are all on trend on 2023, so it's good, right? So you know that that's helping everyone, and you know that social media, every single realtors event you go to, people talk about social media. And it's not hard to do it because we just have a mindset that, realtors always saying we always need to look good. But people want to see the authentic you. The real you, what you're doing, and what you're doing in life. Not everyone wants to see just sold and just listed of your life. They want to see behind the scene, the BTS of yourself.
Yes. I do want to add one more thing. In terms of Vancouver, the greater Vancouver area, the Fraser Valley area, there is a huge opportunity to become a realtor influencer in this market. Because I think there are a lot of agents in other markets who are kind of known. They're known across social media platforms. But in Vancouver, you know, we have a handful of people, so you really have a huge opportunity here. You're not too late. So if you're thinking about it, if you're on the fence about it, like, just do it. Just do it. Yeah.
Don't get analysis paralysis, just do it. Remember the challenge today. Who's going to post today? Who's up for the challenge? Say aye.
Aye.
Yeah. That's right. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you.
All right. So I want to give a special shout out to DJ Chocha in the house. She's always spinning for us. Woo, woo, woo! If you need any sort of DJs, I even asked her about my wedding. So she does weddings, believe it or not. So I want to give her a special shout out there. Next sponsor we have is the top producing mortgage team. They're the Win Louis Group, and they've been acknowledged by the Canadian mortgage professionals for their successes over the years. They've been ranked top 10 for 10 consecutive years amongst all Canadian mortgage brokers. They provide customized mortgage solutions to suit all their clients' needs and are available 24/7. Let's give them a warm welcome, the Win Louis Group.
DJ Chocha. Awesome. Thanks for the intro song. Yeah, give it up for DJ Chocha. The intro song. Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, thank you, Denise, for having us here. Do you guys want to step forward a little bit? And Vancouver Masterminds for having us here. We're super happy and excited to consistently be, one of the sponsors for your amazing events, and to see you guys go from before to now. It's so amazing, so amazing. So as Denise has mentioned, my name is Sherlock, like Sherlock Holmes. I do have a sidekick named Watson. He's my dog. And this is Richie, that's Chanel, and Flora. So we have a full team of professionals of 14 professionals, and we're a top producing mortgage broker in the country for 10 years in a row. You might have seen me on Global News TV a couple times on just talk about mortgage updates and how it's getting harder and harder for people to qualify. It's unfortunate, but that's the way it is as rates go up. And it's not because I'm good looking. It's because we're mortgage professionals. We're top of our game. They know that we know what we're talking about. And over the last 10 years, we've done about $2 billion of business. John's laughing at me. We got a lot of things done, like from float homes to mobile homes, some of this stuff that banks won't do, from past bankruptcies to divorces, separations, from Vancouver to St. John, we land across the country. But that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I'm super happy to be up here in front of all you guys. Thank you, John. Thank you, Denise. Thank you, Vancouver Masterminds. And to steal a line from John, make it a great day. Thank you.
All right, let's give them another warm round of applause. Woo!
So for our next speaker, Kaylin, is a real estate agent from Kelowna, all the way from Kelowna that you hear today. She always have a passion or real estate, and it's her 7 years in the business. She loves helping families and professionals upsize with her family freedom method, and strives to help other agents scale through leverage. Please welcome Kaylin.
I'm super excited to be here. I drove here from Kelowna last night. The roads were great. So I'm here to share how I created freedom. I doubled my business and created more time through leverage. So I'm going to share how I did that. So I don't know if you've heard of the 5 a.m. Club. I'm sure you have. The book, not the club here. But Robin Sharma wrote the book, and he said, "The hours that ordinary people waste, extraordinary people leverage." So I just want you to think about that throughout this presentation. So I'm Kaylin. I've always wanted to be a realtor. My grandma was a realtor down at the coast in Surrey. And then she moved to Armstrong and opened her brokerage there. She's retired now, but I used to drive around in her car with her. She'd have her signs and tell me all about business. So I always thought it was really interesting, but I wanted to make sure that I had experience first. So I got my business degree, went to Fort Mac, worked in the oil sands, and then bought my first house, put in a suite, lived in the basement and rented out the upstairs. And then that's when I felt confident to become a realtor in 2017. So about my third year in the business, I was doing 20 transactions, and within the next 12 months, by going through this process, I doubled my business to 39 transactions. So the process is super simple. It's systemize, automate, and delegate. So I'm sure you guys all have stories like this. It was my birthday, I think it was my third year in business, it was my birthday, and I had a bunch of people coming over to my house before we were going out for dinner, and I had a client that wanted to write an offer. So everyone's drinking wine in the living room, I'm on my computer writing my offer. My one friend is like shaking one of my presents in my face, telling me, you shouldn't be doing this right now. Can't they wait till tomorrow? And I was like, well, I have your condo listed right now. If you got an offer on it, wouldn't you want me to give you a call and negotiate for you? And it was funny because I was super furious with her, but I realized that I was actually mad at myself because I got the offer submitted. I sat there checking my phone every once in a while. They didn't respond till the next day, so I probably could have just done it in the morning. So that was a really big wake-up call for me, why I needed to create some boundaries in my business, some systems, delegation, and just have a better process so that I could actually have some personal time. So this leads me to your American history lesson. Has anyone heard of the Eisenhower Matrix? Awesome. The Eisenhower Matrix was created by Dwight Eisenhower, who was a US military officer. He led two of the most consequential campaigns in World War II, Operation Torch in Africa and the D-Day invasion of Normandy. So he created this matrix to prioritize what is urgent and important that needs to get done so that you can figure out what do you need to do now, what can you schedule for later, and then what can you delegate, and what can you completely delete out of your schedule. There's probably things you're doing every day and week that you could just completely get rid of. So the most important quadrant here to live in is the important, not urgent quadrant. So this is where you want to schedule all of your prospecting, following up with past clients, being on video for, say, you're doing your YouTube or your social media channels, and your personal time. So you want to be living most of your days in this quadrant. When things come up, like you're working with an active client and they want to see a new house that comes up, or they want to write an offer, or you're booking a listing presentation for tomorrow morning, these things might not fall within your normal schedule, but they're really important. They move the needle forward in your business, and you want to make sure you do them. Now, in the third quadrant is what you can delegate. So this would be posting on your social media. Say you create your content for the next 2 to 4 weeks, and you actually use a scheduling app, or you get a VA to help you schedule. These kind of tasks can be taken off of your plate. You can have someone help you order your signs, your photos, all of that kind of stuff can be delegated, and then there's definitely tasks all the time that you're probably doing that you can delete. So this would be maybe having too many business lunches or too many meetings, that kind of stuff. Things that you're not getting an ROI on, or you're not enjoying and you don't want to do, you don't have to do those things. So the first system, which I'm sure nobody really wants to do, is setting up your CRM. So things that your CRM can do is you can set up a smart number in your CRM, and you can directly call, email, and text clients right through the CRM. So in the future, if you hire an admin, an ISA, start a team, any of those people that are working with you, they can actually see your communication and where you are with a prospective client or a past client so that they can continue on the conversation. It's a really good tool, and everyone should be living in there. Get everything out of your head into your CRM, and then you don't have to have to-do lists every day. Call Mike and Bob. It'll just remind you in your CRM. Oh, the other great thing about a CRM is you will look like a rock star if you call your clients to say happy birthday, happy house anniversary. I send out cards myself, but then I also message them on Facebook. So all of those reminders are coming from the CRM. One system that I started with was Trello. So this was a really handy system to set up a buyer and seller checklist. With the buyer and seller checklist, I actually was working with a virtual assistant, and we had all of our email templates in there. So say we got an accepted offer, they would email out, here's the next steps, this is how you submit your deposit. All of that kind of stuff was all templated so that I didn't have to rewrite it every single time. And then I knew if I looked in Trello, oh, they did send out these emails, great. Now I have to do my next part, and we would see through the checklist. Once I had a full-time admin, I realized that I could save them time as well. So I was working with a coach, and they were using Airtable, and I basically took everything out of Trello into Airtable, and there's some automation in there as well. So once we got an accepted offer using Airtable, you could actually put in the contact information of the clients, the mortgage broker, the lawyer, everyone, and then you can actually set it up to send certain documents to certain people, so it can even help your admin save time as well. So once you're ready to delegate those tasks, you can hire a transaction coordinator if you don't want to commit to somebody full-time. You can hire a part-time or full-time virtual assistant, or even an in-person administrative assistant. So the 3-step process was systemizing, automating, and delegating. So remember, the hours that ordinary people waste, extraordinary people leverage. So that's what I did using the Eisenhower matrix to create more financial freedom and time freedom in my life. And I'm super happy that I did that because I'm actually expecting my first baby in June. So, yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I'm also on Instagram if you want to chat. So Kaylin England Real Estate, and I'm in Kelowna.
Yeah, let's give Kaylin a round of applause, everybody.
So again, if you guys have any questions, send it into Slido and we can have it answered. But if we do miss your question, we do going to post it in our Vancouver Mastermind Reels. So you're going to see all your questions that you answer to get answered. So people ask, how many virtual assistants do you have and what are the tasks they do for you?
I have one full-time virtual assistant. It's mostly admin and marketing. So all the transaction coordinating, they're using the Airtable system right now, and they're doing the scheduling of the social media posts. So we're using Later, and now we're trying SINGH Share to see which one we like better, because SINGH Share actually allows you to schedule reels, which Later doesn't. So I think, if that's correct still? It was when I was checking. So yeah, we're just playing around with those. And then also with client communication and messaging through the CRM, responding to emails, all those kinds of tasks they can do. They could probably do more depending on where they're located. Like they could probably help you book showings and give showing feedback and things like that.
So, which virtual assistant company do you use?
So I was using VA Staffer, but I actually switched to We Clone You. They're all set up a little bit differently. Some of them are set up where you pay them monthly and then they pay the assistant. So then they're taking like a little bit per month. And then there's other ones where it's kind of like a finder's fee. So they help interview and vet, give you a couple options, and then you directly hire the person or have a contract with them to be a contractor, and then you pay them directly. So that's a bit more cost-effective long-term. So there's a couple options there.
What is your suggestion to finding a good virtual assistant?
I think that, so I'm actually in the process of hiring a new one right now. And with the first person I worked with for the last 2 years, I just took the one that the company said was available the soonest. With this one, I actually got to interview a couple people, and then I asked them to send me some examples of work that they've done in Canva, because I do use a lot of Canva graphics for brochures and social media, and then to give me some, like to do a little trial admin task. So you could do some tests, I guess, for them.
So for those of you who don't know what is Canva, so Canva is actually a app on iOS and Android and your desktop. So basically your design work, every single thing, your brochure, you can just design over there for them. Either your assistant or virtual assistant can help you to do that. How much do you spend monthly on your system?
On my systems? That's a good question. So my VA was $1,500 US, but the new one that I'm hiring is going to be $600 US. So my plan was to do a full-time VA and then a full-time ISA, and then that's 2 people for less than the price of one before. And then I do pay for Airtable, Canva Pro, some CRMs and things like that. So I'm probably spending another $1,000 a month on that.
Do you have any suggestion for new realtors that how they can get every single thing organized?
I'd say if you're new and you don't want to spend any money or you don't have the budget for it yet, even just setting up email templates in your email or having them in a Word document that you can copy and paste, having them for every time you have an accepted offer, telling people how to remove subjects, how to submit a deposit. I send out a weekly activity report for sellers of how many showings do we have, how many people looked at your Facebook ad, that kind of stuff. You can have it all templated out so you're just copying and pasting, and then also having a buyer and seller checklist, because when I first started, mine was just on paper.
So, guys, remember, system. Have a system for your dad. Start it, have a system first before you get a mess.
Oh yeah, I wanted to mention that too, about when you are ready to hire a VA. There's a really good website called loom.com, and you can record all of the things that you do daily, and you can just set up a whole library of recordings so that when you do hire someone, you don't have to sit down with them and show them how to do it 3 times, because sometimes things will, like, maybe you'll get an accepted offer today and then you don't again for another month or another few weeks, and then they might not remember what to do. So if you have all these looms already created, you're not bringing them into your chaos, you're actually giving them standard operating procedures that they can go back to and look at every time. And then if you have turnover or something, then you can have that for the next person.
And it's free.
Oh yeah.
But anyhow, thank you so much, Kaylin, for sharing us amazing information.
Thank you, Kaylin. All right, so our last set of sponsors, I'm just going to give a quick shout out. The first one is Bella Staging. As you can see, all of us are realtors. Nobody wants to sell a house that looks like that. So they are virtual stagers, and you get 25% off your order because you are here. So the code to use is Ignite25 and bellastaging.ca. Make sure you check them out. Get some beautiful virtual staging done, and they also can renovate the place as well. So I already had a great conversation with Bella Staging. He's back there. Make sure you find him. Ask him any questions. And the next sponsor we have is Cheryl Kwok. She couldn't make it today, but she is an amazing notary extraordinaire. She works with a lot of the top agents here, and I know like John and a lot of others really speak highly of her as well. All right, so that's the rest from our sponsors. Let's get one last round of applause. Okay, so the next person I'm going to bring up today is someone special to me. He is my partner and a good friend. It is an incredible honor. I know a lot of you already know who he is. His name is John Sai. Who knows John Sai? And for those of you who do not know, he is also the president of EXP Canada. He has received numerous accolades, including the Master Medallion Club, President's Club, and eXp Realty's 4 times Icon Asian Award. His team just qualified for the top 1% President's Club in 2022. And after reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, this led him to launch his real estate career in 2006. You can also hear about John's journey in his new book called I'm a Beast. And John, I'm so excited that we've been on this journey together. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you. All right. It was really awkward, you reading my stuff when I'm right here. So that was cool. Well, today we're gonna have our Legends panel. These guys have been in real estate longer than you have been alive. Oh my gosh, did I just say that? I'm sorry. Natasha's gonna kill me. I'm so sorry. So first off, I'm going to introduce one of our biggest mentors. He's been in real estate 34 years, and I've seen his notepads ever since I've been alive. And my mom still uses his notepads today. It is none other than Rod Stewart. I'm kidding. Phil Moore! All right, next up we call him Johnny Love because he comes from the heart. And whenever I see him in the gym, whenever I see him at Cactus Club, he'll want to give me a hug and tell me he loves me very much. Every single time, every single time. Did we kiss yet? We need a kiss. Johnny Love, Johnny Patricelli. Wow. Oh, there you go, there you go. It's always awkward when you're trying to go for the handshake and it's like, all right, last but not least, Miss Natasha Coach, our partner here at eXp Realty, has been in the business now over 20 years. And what a story, I can't wait to hear it. Natasha Coach, come on up. All right, please have a seat. So we'll get right to it, guys. We'll start with Johnny. How did you get into real estate, sir?
Well, John, there we go. How I got into real estate was interesting. I was selling cell phones and pagers at the time. I was only 20 years old, and I wasn't making that much money. I was commission-based, and I just wanted a little bit more out of life than just selling cell phones and pagers. I couldn't see myself doing that for the rest of my life. So I decided I wanted to go and take the real estate course. Didn't get much help here from my mom and dad. Didn't get much, enthusiasm from them. So like, do you even own a home? Do you even know anything about a home? How are you supposed to sell them for that matter, right? But I was 21 years old. I took the real estate exam. Failed it the first time. For those of you that are going there to take it and don't give up, I failed it the first time. Second time I passed with a 96%. Ooh. And I still remember that I just wanted to pass and sell homes. I saw myself doing that. And it's been over 25 years since.
25 years, guys, wow. And I guess my next question is, just while we're talking to you, at 21 years old, a lot of us here are a little bit younger. What's your advice on overcoming that objection? You're too young. You don't look like you're capable. What would you say to that?
I heard it all. I heard, you're too young. Maybe you should do something else for that matter. At a very young age, I understood about faith. At a very young age, I understood that if you visualize something, there isn't anyone that's going to stop you from achieving that. And I didn't have a lot of fans in my corner at that time, at 21 years old. I had a lot of things up against me. However, I believed and I had faith that I was going to do this. And I was going to not only do it, but enjoy doing it. And that was the difference, right? So just believe in with what you're doing. Believe with it and with full heart, fully with your heart. And you will succeed. I promise you that.
Believe in yourself. Thank you, John.
100%.
Thank you. Phil, so how did you get your start?
So life will leave you clues. And I had graduated from high school. I was 18 years old, and I found myself standing in front of a panel of 5 Vancouver police officers. And I was selling myself on them hiring me. And that was the clue. I should have figured out sales was my niche. So on my 19th birthday, I was sworn in as a Vancouver police officer. I policed from 1981 to 1989. In 86, I went undercover during Expo, and there was no real crime in Expo, so I kind of wandered the city doing a vice arrest, a drug arrest, an impaired arrest, 2-3 arrests a day. In 87, all of that went to court. In 88, there I was in the front page of the Vancouver Sun, me and my partner, because we actually made more money than the chief of police. And taxpayers don't really like that, and so we got called into the chief's office, and the chief said, you know, you're making people's misfortune your fortune. If it's all about money, you two guys should go into real estate. So there I was 26, 27. I had been a police officer for 8 years. And the chief, Bob Stewart, told me to go into real estate. So here I am.
After 34 years. And if you don't know Phil, you can Google images of him posing as a bodybuilder. Right?
Policemen have a lot of spare time on their hands, so yeah, we spend a lot of time in the weight room. You know, back then you couldn't have a second job, so you couldn't be a police officer and a real estate agent. You couldn't be a real estate agent and have another job. Now, of course, that's all changed. So you can have a part-time position, and you can make a very good income.
That's right. Thank you. And Natasha, how did you get your start?
Oh boy, I have so much to share, but I'll try to keep it short. I'm Natasha Koch. I'm originally from Toronto, Ontario. I was a single mom from the time I was 18 years old. And I was a hairdresser, actually. So I had no idea about real estate. And one day I was on my way to drop my son off at a soccer game, and I slipped and fell, and I was in bed actually with a broken leg watching HGTV. So actually I thought, I can do that. I'm good with people. I am a great hairdresser, so I thought, well, real estate can't be any different. And so that's how it all began.
Wow. So you already had sort of a database, right? Yeah.
I did have a database, and actually, one thing that I did when I was a hairdresser, which I think I know I carried on into real estate, is that I kept a Rolodex, if anybody knows what that is, on my station for hairdressing. And when I had a client coming in, and they told me, you know, my son John is going to universities, he's going to be a doctor, I made all those notes, and then the next time that same client came, I read them before they arrived, and I said, how's John doing in university? And of course, that I have carried on all the way through, because really, it's a relationship business.
It is a relationship business. Now, that leads to my next question, and we can stay here right now. Natasha, what's your best source of business for all these years?
You know, there's a lot of lead sources out there, of course, and I wouldn't say that there's only one, but I would say that maintaining the relationships is the strongest. So most of my business now comes from past clients and Sphere, and so the most important thing to do is to keep in mind that that relationship needs to be continuous, and that those people need to refer to you as my realtor.
Yes, absolutely. I believe, this is my belief here, is that you know, they can take away online leads. They can take away Google. They can take away TikTok. They can take away Instagram, right? They're going to ban TikTok. But the only thing that cannot take away is your own client database. So work on your database from day one, and you'll thank yourself 10 years from now. Phil, what about yourself?
So actually, I started off with a geographical farm, and so every 2 months, they would get my notepad. That farm grew into the city of Burnaby, 78,000 notepads. That's sold cards. I do everything in the city of Burnaby. I go to church in Burnaby. I participate in sports in Burnaby. I go to restaurants in Burnaby. I see my clients everywhere. But interestingly, you know, I've been thinking about what makes the difference. So on December the 20th, we had a snowstorm, and I had a possession. And so I drove over to the house, and I got there, and there was 8 inches of snow. And I looked at my dress shoes, and I looked at the shovel in the back seat, and then I looked at my stomach, and I said, I could use the exercise. And so I started to shovel the walkway for these people. It was my listing. It was not my buyer's. By the way, the buyer's agent didn't make it. So as the buyers turned up with their moving van, there was a guy in a suit shoveling the walkway, and I shoveled it all and finished it off. I got a call last week, and they now got transferred. So guess who they called to get the listing? So I think it's really being a service to others and going above and beyond. I don't do gifts, I give good service. And I put out fires, and there's always a fire to put out. You know, I hire a cleaning service, or I hire junk removal, I get the appliance fixed, or I replace the appliance. I save that gift money in preparation for something that I'm gonna have to fix or spend. So I think that's one thing that we need to think about. How can we be above and beyond for service?
Absolutely, above and beyond. Yeah. If you focus on customer service, providing great, impeccable customer service, they'll always come back. You don't even need to ask for the referral. So going above and beyond is definitely the right way to go. Johnny, what about you? What's your best source?
Well, interesting enough, I know that you don't know this, but since I've come over to eXp Realty a few months ago, for the first time in my career, I hired a coach, right? I hired a coach because of you, John. And so me and my wife, Veronica, here, we hired a coach, and he was asking me the exact same question. He goes, I want you to get 10 contacts or 10 leads a day. 10 leads, 10 real estate leads a day. And I said, well, like 10 phone calls? He goes, I don't care how you do it, just 10 leads a day. I said, okay, so what do you want me to do different? I thought to myself, I walk into my gym every day, and they nickname me the mayor, because I know everyone in there. I'm having conversations there. I belong to 3 different nonprofit organizations. Everybody knows I'm a realtor there. And I just live my life telling people, yeah, I'm in real estate, I'm a realtor. And he goes, that's it, that's all you gotta do. And I said, so what I have to do is just live my life? He goes, yeah, just talk about your real estate, talk about your life for that matter. It doesn't matter with what I'm doing. Real estate, people actually want to come and talk to me about real estate no matter what, whether it be in the gym, whether it be at church, whether it be at the boys club. Anywhere I go, they come up to me and they talk to me about real estate. From there, I don't know, years later, I'm still in the top 10%. I mean, I'm very grateful for that. But the thing is, I don't think I'm doing anything really special. I'm just being me.
Just being me. I think success does not come from what you do. It's about who you're being at the end of the day.
Yes.
Why did they call you Johnny Love?
He loves everybody.
That was the case. I'm grateful here today that I'm a recovered alcoholic. And 11 years ago last month, I hit rock bottom. I lost everything, my family, financially and spiritually. And I could honestly tell you when I looked at you, I didn't like you because I didn't like myself, right? And I thought real estate was the one thing that was turning me into this person because I kept comparing myself to everybody. I kept comparing myself to the people like Phil Moore's, they're doing better than me in real estate. And the only thing that numbed that pain for me was the bottle. And I can talk about this today, because by the grace of God, I got 11 years of sobriety, Thank you. Thank God. But in my journey of sobriety, I started walking a certain path where I started thinking of other people more than I started thinking about myself. And as the days turned into months and the months turned into years, I noticed myself looking at people differently. I didn't care what kind of car they drove. I didn't care about how much money they made. What I did care about was what was in their heart. And every time I would go to an AA meeting and I would leave, I would always tell everybody, hey, you matter. I love you, man. I love you. And in my 11 years, I've had people pass away on me, unfortunately, instantly. Friends of mine that I'm going out for dinner with one night, and then I find out that they relapsed and died. But I know my last words, what they were to them. And that means I love you. Because every time I leave a conversation, every time I leave a person that matters to me, that's with what I want to remember that I tell them, that I love you.
We love you, Johnny. So Phil, can you top that share?
No, you know, I was in Las Vegas and we were in a speaking contest, and in order to get to the final, you had to get out of your group. He was in my group. I just gave up.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. So I know, Phil, I see this man here, 4:55 in the morning. He's at the gym, one of the first cars in the parking lot. And he runs 5K on the treadmill every single day, 60 years old. Sorry, I had to say it. But the man is super inspiring, and he doesn't see the real estate game as a grind. He talks about passion. How do you think your passion has contributed to your longevity in 34 years in real estate?
You know, there's really 5 secrets to success. Number 1 is to be adventurous. Our mind wants one thing, it wants experiences. Number 2, love your family, love your friends. Number 3, always be learning and growing. John's busted me so many times on the treadmill and I'm reading. Like, I'm always learning.
He's reading the MLS at 6 o'clock in the morning. Who does that?
It's about knowing your product. Number 4 is find a purpose. My purpose, I look at my purpose as being service to others. And that's what I do when I sell real estate. So it's not about the money, it's not about the commission. It's about being of service, how I can help these people. And then finally, do everything you do with passion or don't do it.
Do it with passion, do it 100%, or don't do it at all. Thank you, and I'm just inspired by you every single morning. Thank you for being our mentor, Phil. Thank you. So, Natasha, mother of 2 at 17 years old, and you were 350 pounds. What was that journey like, and how did you overcome all that to become a success that you are today?
So we missed that part at the beginning, the 350
Right,
pounds.
we did. What a
So
transformation.
it was a transformation. So sorry, repeat the question again that you'd like to know
Tell
about.
us about the journey. You know, that was a tough beginning. 17 years old with 2 kids, single mother, and made it to today. Tell us about that.
So, well, I was pregnant actually at 17, had my first child at 18. I left Toronto, where I was born and raised, actually, to make my stake in life. And it was a very difficult journey. Actually, I left an abusive relationship at the time and was starting pretty much on my own. So I was growing up as I was learning things the hard way. So it was definitely a hard journey. So I think that how that's benefited me is I definitely have endurance. And I don't give up. So I think that if I can offer anything to anybody out there, these kind of events, will keep you going in those moments where you do feel like you might want to give up.
Absolutely. Never, ever, ever give up. Thank you for sharing that. And you're also, you offer some coaching. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it is about service, but not only service to our clients. I help other realtors. So every Wednesday I have a Zoom online class. Zoom is definitely not how I started in the industry. In fact, who was it that said pager? Because I had one. I had a pager when I first started. I was very excited. The number scrolled. You had no idea who it was. Anyway.
Nobody got that because they're all under 30 years old or something. I don't know. I used to put 143 to make a love note or something. Was it 143? Yeah. If you're Chinese, it's 520. Well, I need.
So I had a pager. I hand wrote my offers. I knew how to write the clauses that are pre-done now for us. So there's a lot of things that have changed. Now, of course, I'm on Zoom, I'm on social media, I'm doing videos, I'm an actress, I'm everything else. But definitely has changed a lot along the way.
What don't you do?
So Wednesdays, I do offer free training for all the realtors that want to learn, some of the things that I've done along the way that really, honestly, haven't changed that much. They've just been enhanced by technology.
Thank you. Thank you for your contribution. So, Johnny, if there's one piece of advice that you would give young realtors to become successful this year, what would it be?
I'm going to give you guys a piece of advice, and hopefully you guys continue to use this throughout your journey in real estate. And that's the golden rule. Treat others as you'd want to be treated. The golden rule, follow it.
You should be in Goodfellas. Some of y'all are too young for that movie, but thank you, Johnny.
Yes.
Treat others.
Treat
Like,
others
that's
as
a
you want to be
platinum
treated. You
rule.
know, I've been so blessed for so many things, including the obstacles I live today. Right. I have an amazing wife, 22 years. You know, who's here today. I've got an amazing career. You know, I've got 2 beautiful, amazing children, and today I have an amazing life, right? So that's all by God's grace. Yeah.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you for your contribution. Phil, what would it be?
So I'm a national director, and the guy steals the line out of the Realtor Code of Ethics. Jeez. Now what do I got left? So I'm going to give you guys something from the 4 Agreements. If you haven't read the book called The 4 Agreements, pick it up and read it. Advice for a young person: don't take anything personally. You're not going to get all of the listings. You're going to get clients. You're going to lose clients. But guess what? You're going to get them back. You're here for the long game. Don't let any of those things upset you. I've lost clients and I've gained them back. I never give up. I never get upset. I never phone someone and say, why didn't you list with me? Like, what did I do wrong? You know, if you really want to know, phone the agent that got the listing, because he probably has some insight. But I never take anything personally. Listen, we're going to be in here. You're going to be here for 30, 33 years, 34 years, 40 years. Just stay focused and stay positive, and don't burn any bridges.
What goes around comes around, guys. Thank you, Phil. Thank you. All right, Natasha, what would it be? One piece of advice.
Just one. I would say that my biggest piece of advice is that this is a business. So you're not just selling real estate, you're actually creating a business. And you get to decide what that business looks like for you. It doesn't matter who in the room is doing more deals or less deals. You get to decide how you want your business to look. And so make it yours and do it well.
This is the business. Thank you so much, guys. It's been incredible. Just hanging around you guys. Really, really inspired every single day by what you do. Keep being you. Thank you all.
Thanks, John.
We do actually have a Q&A, so if you can stay in the stage. Yeah.
Oh, Q&A. Right. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
So, I guess this is go for everyone. What skill from your previous job did you leverage towards starting your realistic journey?
Sure, I'll just actually repeat the same skill that I said. My Rolodex and remembering important things about individual people, and because everybody in this world wants to be seen and heard, and so remembering is key.
Absolutely nothing. Policemen don't knock. We don't knock on doors. We kick in doors. I mean, the number one predominant trait of a policeman is controller. You're not going to do what we want. If you're not going to give me a price reduction, I'll taser you. You know, I had to reinvent myself, and I had to discover what my predominant behavioral trait was, which is a controller. But there are controllers, supporters, promoters, and analysts. And what I did was I mastered personality matrices, and I give people what they want to hear. So I'm going in to do an evaluation for an engineer or an accountant. It's not going to work with one step. That guy's going to want me to come back with more data. And so all of a sudden, I'm offering him to come back. And the guy's all excited, like they want more data. They want flowcharts, they want graphs, they want assessments versus the soul signs. And that's because I've analyzed him or processed him into being that predominant trait. If you're going to do a two-step with a controller, which is a CEO or president or lawyer, it's not going to work. You better know the price. And you better take control of the situation and not even give them a range. You got to say exactly what price. Then you get this nurse or a teacher, and they're the ones that say, Natasha, I don't need to see the CMA. Whatever price you think. Whatever price you think. I trust you. Those people, they're there to support you. They are the best source of business. If I had an hour, we could go through a whole exercise, but we don't. But I had to reinvent myself. I didn't take anything really from policing.
Just being honest.
Well, okay, so repeat the question to me just one more time. So I'm clear.
What skill from your previous job did leverage towards?
Oh, okay. So what skill from my previous job? I still use it to this day. It's called the cup process. A cup process. Now, CUP. This is how you connect with another individual. So back then, I was selling cell phones, right? C stands for connect. Connect with that individual that you're speaking with. Listen twice as much, because we as human beings, right? We are too busy thinking and reloading with what to say and not listening to that person in front of us. C stands for connect. Don't look at your cell phone. Look at them in the eyes and actually listen to with what they have to say. U stands for uplift. What are you bringing into the conversation? How are you entering that conversation? Are you entering that conversation uplifting, meaning with excitement, meaning with love? Or are you entering that conversation going, oh man, I've had the worst day ever. Really? Can you buy a house off me? Right? No one wants that. And P stands for praise. Praise the individual with what they're doing. Maybe they're doing something in society that no one really acknowledges them for. So C stands for connect, U stands for uplift, that means with what you're bringing into the conversation, and P stands for praise. Praise the person.
Awesome. So another question is, since we talk about social media a lot during our event, what does social media change you guys in the business?
Social media. Well, I'm a Facebook user, which I understand is dated now, which is so foreign to me because now, of course, there's TikTok. How it's changed for me, I would say that it allows me to reach people with my personality, where I would have to do that just when I met them. And so now they know who I am and a little more about me probably than they should by the time I get to their house, which is a good thing.
Definitely the same thing. By the time you get called in for that evaluation, they've already Googled you, they've looked at Google reviews, they've been on Facebook, they've been to Instagram, they know all about you. So actually, they know a lot about you, which speeds up the process. Because before, you'd have to set that tone to create that relationship. If you're getting called in, you're there.
I'm going to be really honest. I don't know what I'm doing on social media. If it's not for my workout videos that I, have someone film me with and stuff, what else am I going to upload here? I have an awesome assistant and my wife as well too, that helps me with my social media stuff whenever I get a listing. But other than that, you know what? 90% of this room knows more about social media than I do. Trust me.
Thank you, guys. We just have one quick question to Phil. When you move into EXP? I didn't make it up. Someone asked that. Someone did ask that.
I'll acknowledge one thing. The game that's being played right now is whoever builds the best mousetrap will win the game. Artificial intelligence, predictability, it's a game changer. Your founder's in the room. I'll acknowledge him. 3 years ago, he brought in KV Core. Last week, Remax brought in KV Core. We're a little bit late to the game, but if you guys keep innovating the way you're innovating, you will grow and you'll become the #1 company in the world.
Awesome. So I want to give a quick shout out to everyone on the panelists. Thank you.
Hello, me again. How are you? Great. So last but not least, the moment you've been waiting for, the man himself, the CEO and founder of eXp Realty, Mr. Glenn Sanford. Thank you, Glenn. Just inspired by you, Glenn. The most humble man in the room, and he's almost a billionaire still, or still?
No, I'm only a half.
Only half a billion now, okay. Wow. So, you know, I don't know if you remember this, 7 days into the company, January 7th, 2019, nobody at the company. I get a call from you saying, hey, let's have lunch at Semiamo. I was a nobody at the company, right? And we had dinner that night. I was like, I drive a nicer car than the CEO of eXp Realty. What a humble man. But I felt really safe that day, and I felt like I'm gonna be taken care of, right? Where can you feel like that at a brokerage? And I think, talk a little bit about that, Glenn, because your humility and your way of being relatable has really created 88,000 agents in this company. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so I think there's humble doesn't mean not competitive. So I am competitive as hell.
Yes, you are.
So just, but the thing that I've thought about this literally since I was a young entrepreneur is that it can never be about you. It has to be about the other person. I remember even having these conversations with my dad. We were talking. He ran a company out of Langley, Northern Gold Foods Country Granola. That was his company. Some of you may remember that company. We would have conversations around human motivation and incentives and all those types of things. And the thing I learned, coming up through business is that when I focused on trying to make the most money, so to speak, it actually was the hardest way to make money. When I focused on helping other people make money, I got the income by default. So to some extent, you could think about humility as being kind of a superpower to ultimately achieve what you want to achieve, because you're not making it about you, you're making it about the other person. Still has to, I use the term has to pencil, meaning that there has to be a sort of an economic benefit in there, because that's what powers the business and allows you to scale. So you can't just ignore the fact that there's a business that you're running, but it doesn't need to be about making a bunch of money. It really is about making, in this case, making agents the wealthiest that they possibly can be in a business model. And if you can get to 87,000 plus agents and brokers, you don't need a lot to actually have a lot from a relative perspective.
Wow. Okay. So really, and I hear you talk about this a lot as well. It's focusing on what you do, how you contribute to others, and then that leads to the results that you actually want. You said something about focusing on the experience, the customer experience, the agent experience, and then the numbers will naturally come. I think that applies to all of our businesses here as well. If we focus on our customer experience, then you won't even have to ask for referrals. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So, it's the same reason why we go to particular restaurants, we stay at particular resorts, we do these different things. If you create a great experience, then people are willing to put their efforts in, they're willing to buy those products and services. So when we've got crappy service, we really don't care about the fact that we just saved a bunch of money, fact, we'd rather pay a little more and get a quality experience than pay a little less and get a crappy experience. So, you know, so experience at the end of the day is part of the virtuous flywheel, so to speak, in that, you know, again, making it about the other person, making sure that it all works. There's a level of intentionality that comes with it as well. So I think about it as business ideals. And ideals are generally things that you actually can't fully achieve, but they're the North Stars that you iterate around, and they become the thing that you think about. So obviously, if you could create if I could put 100% of my effort into helping an agent and charge them zero, then it would work up until I collapse.
Right.
But there's these trade-offs. But if you use the North Star, then you can think about, how do I make this a little better? How do I make this a little better? How do I engage the team? How do I mentally bring all these people along the journey of creating the most, in our case, agent-centric real estate brokerage on the planet? And so that's the phrase that I use all the time, is, you know, and you'll see that in our press releases. And how do we do that? Let's, you know, P&L will take care of itself as long as we got a model that pencils, but just make it all about the experience.
So centered around the experience and then building on top of that. Is that how you built EXP?
It is. I mean, we had to pick what we wanted to focus on first. So when we first, the very first focus in 2013 was to create a competitive model and to create a comp model that provided an incentive for agents to help grow the model. We didn't have a CRM like KV Core at the time. We didn't have a bunch of the tools and technologies, but that particular niche really hadn't been filled yet, meaning that there was no other company that existed that sort of created a true path to retirement for real estate agents. And as we continued to build, started to create revenue, income, and opportunities, and then we take that money and put it back in, improve the experience.
Okay, so keep on improving the experience and then the numbers will come. As we head into Q2 right now, and a lot of agents are probably thinking, what should I do? I believe that our technology makes our experience better with the company, and if we have better experience with the company, we then serve our customers better, right? So that's what I was thinking about that. But in going into Q2, what would you say, real estate agents here, what do we need to do differently?
Well, it's a pretty simple business. It's about, you know, prospecting and then working with sellers, taking listings and generating buyers. And so the business is pretty simple in terms of just the basics. The reality is that we've got now more tools coming at us all the time. I mean, right now, since December, January, everybody's talking about, you know, Chat GPT and, you know, all of this stuff. And of course, I'm getting into this mix as well. And I think there's one of the things that I think agents are fundamentally, the challenge of real estate is that there's no sacred time generally on your calendar, meaning that if a client calls, you follow up with them. The flip side of it is that because of that, sometimes it's tougher to manage your day in a way that keeps you moving forward, trying to manage, you know, disparate tasks that pop up. And so one of the things I think that's going to be really cool is, you know, the application of AI to your business. I've been playing with, anybody here use Motion, the Motion app? Anybody? So if you have,
Marco, one
over
person.
Here. Okay,
Oh,
and I saw an enthusiastic hand there.
That's your best buddy over here.
There you go. I've been looking at it, and I think it's one of the coolest apps specifically for real estate professionals.
Motion, it's called?
Motion.
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's called Motion. And the reason being is if you think about the old style of real estate agency, you would time block from 10 to noon to do your smiling and dialing, right? That was kind of the model that was kind of preached out there. The challenge is there's always stuff that is of high priority outside of prospecting. So the cool thing about the Motion platform is it will literally move your repetitive time blocks around your calendar based on what you've got going on. So if you've got a buyer consultation or you're going out to work on a listing, which are certainly higher priorities than making the phone calls between that 10 to noon block, if those individuals are connecting with you, it automatically moves things around. So if you're thinking about how do I time block my social media, well, how many of you have a hard time blocking? Anybody? Okay. So it's like a universal thing. If you're a real estate agent, you're dealing with this issue. So I think there's just going to be a lot of cool tools that are going to start to actually automate more and more of our day. And that's one that I thought was a pretty cool use. Google used to have in their Google Calendar app on mobile the ability to actually do these things, and then they got rid of it. And I don't know why, because it was actually a cool feature. But the Motion app kind of allows you to sort of flex these things into your calendar and then do sort of automated scheduling and things like that. So there's some really cool stuff you can do with that.
So get Motion for the second quarter, and then you'll make $1 million.
As long as you follow the calendar. You know, the first thing is to get it on your calendar. The second thing is to do what your calendar says you should do.
Absolutely. You got to go back to the basics. It's prospecting, lead follow-up, going on appointments, negotiating contracts, and closing deals. It's actually very simple. But Motion can help you schedule that, right, to become more efficient. Talking about technology, do you think we're going to be replaced by ChatGPT? All realtors?
I don't think that ChatGPT will replace us. What it will do is it'll make us way more efficient. Like I actually recommend that everybody go and download the Microsoft Edge browser and actually set up an account through on there for Bing to actually start to use ChatGPT in the browser. It actually will simplify a lot of your stuff. So it's actually better than going to ChatGPT, so the Microsoft version, because what it will do is it'll answer plus link to relevant content when it answers a question for you. So if you're looking for what are the best lead generation strategies for real estate professionals, you could actually put that in there and it will actually list it with the relevant links from the text based on sort of the feedback. So I think that it can make us a lot more efficient. GPT-4 is definitely going to help if you can get access to that, but you have to have a knowledge base in order to build that. What I think will end up happening is in probably another iteration or two, you're going to be able to have a conversation with your AI, GPT-5, GPT-6, and it will actually start to do a lot of the things that you currently have to actually type in. So it could be, hey, add to my, I just met Denise Mai. She's a first-time home buyer, and I like to put a search together in this price range. I'd like to send it out to her an update at least twice a week, and it will then do that and probably then say, hey, you haven't touched base with Denise for a while, you should give her a call based on my understanding of consumer behavior, she's probably ready to buy. Those will be kind of the things that we'll start to be able to recognize in terms of the AI. I was just trying out Zillow the other day, and now you can search using a phrase as opposed to actually doing a search through a traditional method. So you think about it from a consumer perspective, and I'm talking to the team about how we can use that in our search solution, where you can say, hey, I'm looking for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath home in this neighborhood, in this part of the city with these features. And with AI, they can look at photos, they can actually really figure out more of the stuff that the agent didn't originally put into the description and actually start to match up with properties that actually make more sense. So there's some really cool things from the consumer perspective and the agent perspective. I do think that, though, if you go to 2033 versus 2023, that is a totally unpredictable world because the stuff that's coming is coming so fast.
Exponentially.
Exponentially. Like it'll be crazy what the AI can do from the consumer perspective and the agent perspective. I still think fundamentally the consumer is going to need somebody to open up the house and do that part. But even that could be somehow impacted through cameras and motion detectors and other things and vetting and a bunch of stuff. So there's going to be some shifts in the real estate industry in the next 10 years, and I have no clue as to what those will be 10 years from now. But I think the next two...
Are we still going to have a job 10 years from now?
Oh, we'll have a job.
Okay, cool.
Because we'll be working for the AI.
Okay. We'll be working for the AI. Skynet. Okay, see you guys later.
But think about it. The more we lean into these technologies even today, the easier our life actually gets as real estate professionals. So, it actually, our lives will improve in unique and interesting ways. When you don't have to do the 2 hours of prospecting every day in order to keep a full pipeline of clients and clients that you like and that like you.
Oh, nobody want to put their hand up right now. Okay, okay.
Yeah. Who likes rejection when people hang up on you on the phone? Okay, same group.
Yeah, so we will have a job in 10 years. In fact, AI is going to make our business a lot easier. You don't even have to cold call anymore. Well, Glenn, thank you so much for sharing that. So inspirational words for the crowd here and inspirational words for realtors in general for 2023.
For 2023, the reality is you get paid to the extent that you actually work on yourself in this business, meaning are you actually getting into the right rooms? This is the right room. Are you consuming the right content? A lot of people talk about negative self-talk and how that pulls people down. I was fortunate enough when I was younger to listen to audio after audio, tape after tape, CD after CD, podcast after podcast before they were called podcasts. And I did that deliberately. And so I didn't really suffer as much from negative self-talk because I was getting so much positive feedback. And I think this is is going to be a tougher year. We're going to see real estate sales as down in terms of number of transactions, 20% or so from 2022, which was down 20 to 30% from 2021. So we're definitely going to have a slower market. And that does mean that there are going to be people that are going to need to figure out what they're going to need to do to make income because there's still a finite number of properties sold. But that doesn't have to affect any person in this room. If you decide, I'm 100% dedicated to this business called real estate, and I'm willing to do what it takes to both consume the right information, be around the right people, and you're willing to put the work in to actually get in front of consumers, there's no reason why this also couldn't be for each one of you the best year you've had in real estate. And so the market is the market. The reality is you can't, it's going to do whatever it's going to do. But you as an individual are not the market. You get to create the market for you, and you can have the best year you've ever had in real estate.
The market does not determine my production. The market determines what I need to do differently to get to the production level that I want. Thank you, Glenn, so much. We have some questions from the crowd as well.
All right, let's give another round of applause. Okay. So the first question we have here is, what are some new valuable benefits coming up this year for eXp Canada?
So a couple things. One, and this is a benefit that we actually developed initially starting in 2019 in the US, and that's over basically, we'll call it supplemental health benefits, insurance-like benefits for real estate professionals. And so we've been working with some of our agents on the Canadian Agent Advisory Council and other places to actually build effectively supplemental, we'll call it insurance. It's not insurance, it's health share. It's a 501c3 or nonprofit in the States we're setting up in a similar way in Canada, but it will actually help sort of cover health things. So that's actually a big one. We get a lot of questions around that, and we may be the first company brokerage in Canada to provide something like that. So that's kind of cool. And for some, it's really cool. We bought Zoocasa last year in June, July. And when, back in 2014, 2015, you couldn't turn on a radio station without hearing an ad for Zoocasa in Vancouver. And so we're helping them re-expand across Canada. And so there's going to be exclusive lead gen coming from that. We signed a deal back in January, February with a company called Realty.com in the States, but they also have Realty.ca. And it's basically a portal platform and to compete with, well, now Realtor.ca is going to actually be a lead gen platform, kind of like some of the other lead gen platforms that are out there. But we're exclusive. That's exclusive for us. So we're doing a lot of stuff on the lead gen side. We've got another cool thing we're going to talk about at shareholders in May, but you can get a preview of it. And we're getting a patent on this, which is pretty cool. So it means that nobody else will be able to do it. But it's called mylinkmylead.com. So some of you may have heard of My Listing My Lead. This is My Link My Lead. And basically, it's the first ever affiliate link for real estate agents to actually generate leads in both their local market for them, no cost for their local stuff, but anything that they can't service will actually go through a referral process internally, and they'll actually get referral-based income just by the spillover effect of promoting that link into social media, blog posts, and other places. So that's another really, really cool thing. So just my background prior to starting EXP was I was big on internet lead gen. So I built my whole career around that. And I fundamentally, I have a religious commitment not to make a cold call ever again. So those of you who are smiler and dialers, I felt your pain, and I decided I didn't want to face that pain anymore. So everything I did was around inbound from about the mid 90s on. And so anything that you can do to actually create an inbound where you're talking to somebody who actually wants to talk to you, and you don't have to reach out to them first to try to talk them into talking to you, way better.
Yes, we all can completely agree with that, right? Yeah. Okay, next question. Is EXP going to have more AI tools for agents in Canada?
Like I was saying earlier, AI is a fad. It's going away. Okay. Yeah. No, we're working on a number of pilots in the company. We've got at least 4 different pilots around AI. What I'd like to be able to do, and I think we're positioned really uniquely because we're one brokerage across Canada, one brokerage across the US, is that we can actually do things fundamentally different because we can actually get the economies of scale around using AI. So, talking about the example earlier, I could say, hey, AI, please write me a purchase agreement for this property at this address for this person with this down payment. Make sure you include an inspection and financing contingency. And then it does whatever it does. It says, oh, by the way, do you want to include a well addendum because it's on a well? And so it will do all this stuff, and you'll just have a conversation with it. And so I think that's the type of things that we'll be working toward. I mean, contracts are pretty easy, at least in most markets. It's from a real estate agent's perspective, it's fill in a bunch of blanks and then have initial, and then you call it good. But it'd be nice if you didn't actually have to type all that stuff in. And so that, in my mind, is where AI is going to be of real benefit.
Amazing. And last question. With some new brokerages in the market with similar business plans as EXP, how are we going to differentiate EXP, for example, compared to Real?
Oh, well, it's interesting, Real specifically, and I don't want to, it's hard for me not to sort of say things that are kind of but the guy who started it never sold real estate. He was a real estate developer in New York and now lives in Israel, and he's the biggest shareholder of the company, at about 3% of the company. So he has no vested interest in kind of pointing it and he's been selling a bunch of his stock. So I think about the fact that I'm still, we still control between our agents, brokers, founders, and everybody else in EXP over 70% of the company. And so that's a big deal. Like, we control our destiny. And I know exactly why we put everything into EXP that we put into EXP. For the most part, they've simply copied it without understanding why we did it. And so it's interesting. One, it's good, and I'll say this because it keeps us on our toes. When we don't have competition, then it doesn't force us to continue to improve the agent experience. So from that perspective, I'm glad we've got competitors. And if we weren't doing something interesting, then there would be no competitors. So I guess it's just something we just have to live with, that where there's going to be more and more competitors. 22 competitors in the U.S. doing some version of the EXP model now.
Wow. All right, well, let's give Glenn a round of applause. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Amazing. Glenn, you are always so awesome. So we are just about to wrap up. We are putting the agent training, but don't leave yet because there's a few announcements. In May, we are having the Shareholder Summit, and EXP has actually booked out Universal Studios for all of the EXP agents. How many brokerages can do that, right? Let's hear a round of applause for that. Woo. And in June, we have an event by Phil Hahn and Randy Dick. And there's going to be more details to follow. We will announce that as well. And of course, the big announcement came that EXP Canada is coming to Vancouver.
EXPCon. And then after EXPCon Canada, we're going to have EXPCon in the States. So again, it's going to be Vegas, Mandalay Bay. So excited that after our first Canada con, and we're gonna go to Vegas afterward. So we're gonna have some fun for it.
Who's ready to have some fun? Woo! Yes. All right.
So once again, we really appreciate our sponsor for our event today, and please afterward get out and then talk to them and get some information from them. And we are also having a happy hour that down on the bar that inside the casino. If you want to mingle later on, feel free to get in. But don't leave yet. Ladies, stay. Don't leave yet. Everyone, we do always in Vancouver Mastermind, we do something different than all others event. We're going to do an affirmation for it. If you guys can stand up.
Let's get everybody on your feet. We never leave this room, and we always leave in a peak state. All right. So, affirmation.
Let me set it up. Let me set it up. Hello? All right. All right. Who wants to sell more real estate in 2023? Say aye.
Aye.
Who wants to do more deals in 2023? Say aye.
Aye.
Who wants a lot of money in 2023? Say aye.
Aye.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
Anything is what?
Anything is possible.
Anything is what?
Anything is possible.
Repeat after me. I can do it.
I can do it.
I'm willing to do whatever it takes.
I'm willing to do whatever it takes.
I'm the best.
I'm the best.
I'm a beast.
I'm a beast.
I'm a beast.
I'm a beast.
Let's go.
Let's go. Woo!
Make it a great day, guys. Let's do it. Ignite 2023. Thank you.